It's another beautiful evening here on the peninsula as we are just a few minutes south of the city by the bay as we come to you live from College of San Mateo baseball field here in San Mateo, California for some Wednesday night coverage of California Collegiate League baseball. As tonight we have two teams still trying to stay in the fight of the California Collegiate League playoff picture as it'll be the visiting Alameda Merchants taking on your Menlo Park Legends. And hello once again, everybody. It's Philip Hall on the call. Happy to be back with you after a solid night of baseball last night with the Legends earning a big win against the Crawdads, winning 6-5. Austin Rabago homered for the second time in 3 days, going 2 for 4. Blake Cohens, Charlie Degler, and Aaron Lewis combined for 5 RBIs and the 6-run output. Diego Menjivar would start last night going 5 innings strong, only allowing 2 runs and striking out 4 for his second win of the summer, while Will Pyers would come in for a 4-out save as the Crawdads tried to get a comeback going but came up 1 run short once again as Menlo Park would go 3-0 against them in the season series. And we'll see them 2 more times before the All-Star break on Sunday and Monday in a 2-game home-and-home series. But the Legends will look to handle business tonight against the Merchants to continue to put together a good week before the break. As for the Alameda Merchants, currently sitting in second place in the CCL North Division at 13-8 after losing to the Sonoma Stompers in a low-scoring affair last night, 3-1. The loss will put the Stompers in first place in the division as the Merchants have gone back and forth with Sonoma and Walnut Creek for first all summer long, only winning 5 games in their last 10. The Merchants faced off against the Legends on Sunday in a neutral site doubleheader at Kenyatta College in Redwood City, with both teams splitting. Alameda will see Menlo Park twice this week before the All-Star break, trying to hold steady with the parity going haywire in the top 3 spots in the division. In head-to-head matchups, the Merchants are 3-2 versus the Legends in the season series this summer, with 2 games left against them for the remainder of the season, including tonight. The Legends, however, are trying to get even with a team they're trying to run down in the CCL North Division. But for the Merchants, they have a well-rounded offense hitting .240 as a team and are second in the league with stolen bases as they run a lot on the base paths. But on the pitching side, the Merchants have struggled with the staff holding a 5.07 ERA, but they do hold opponents to a .236 batting average. For the Legends, they're trying to keep everything good on their end, as with that home run that Austin Rabago hit, it did put them third in the league in the home run tally on the season. So the power has came through in a lot of ways in these past few games. And we also can't forget about Quincy Villa, who continues to be a speed demon out there on the base paths, as he was able to get 2 more last night, adding to his season total of 27, which puts him at the top of the CCL in the stat category, while also leading the category across the collegiate summer ball circuit, outpacing the category leader in stolen bases from the Cape Cod League, the Hamptons Collegiate Baseball League, and the West Coast League. And he's still definitely trying to make a case to head down to Compton next week for the CCL All-Star game, which is set to take place on July 16th. And the same can be said for James Bose, still being a solid gap hitter as he's continuing to carry his batting average over 300 since June 13th, with a league-leading 9 doubles along with 2 home runs, continuing to make the case to get an invite as well down to Compton for the CCL All-Star game. But we got a good night of baseball on hand for you. Glad you could join us with it as the players hit the baselines getting ready for the national anthem. We'll take a quick break as we will come back to give you the starting lineups and the first pitch for tonight's coverage of California Collegiate League baseball, as it's the Alameda Merchants taking on the Menlo Park Legends right here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. About to get ready for first pitch here in San Mateo as we welcome you back to tonight's coverage of California Collegiate League Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. It's the Alameda Merchants returning back here to San Mateo to take on the Legends, and what is a crucial game for the Legends as they only have 5 left before the All-Star break, but every win counts from here on out if they want to stay in the hunt to try to get one of the 3 seeds for the CCL playoffs set to take place at the end of the month. As we're going to give you the starting lineup for the Merchants, as batting first will be Jack Bollinger playing center field, the product out of Westmont College. Cy Turner playing shortstop, batting second. Jackson Nystrom, the designated hitter, batting third. Emmett Feeney playing left field tonight in the cleanup spot. Riley Winchell is at catcher, batting fifth. Hayden Jung Goldberg getting the start tonight, playing right field. He bats sixth. Caleb Latimer at second base, batting seventh. Ben Giovanetti at third base, bats eighth. And Fabian Gomez playing first base rounds out the order in the 9th spot. Getting the ball tonight for the Legends will be Tyler LaChance. Tyler LaChance is an arm out of Santa Clara, coming by way of Burlingame, just a few Caltrain stops up the road from us. But for LaChance on the summer, he's already played in 3 games, starting in 2 of them. But he's been more of like an opener for the Legends, as Nick Sanzeri is going to have some hope that he can put together a quality outing tonight, trying to save some arms and trying to give the bullpen a little bit of a rest after the win last night. But for Tyler LaChance, still pretty new to the Legends roster. He's been definitely making strides all the way through and continuing to improve. And for TC Fairfield, head coach for the Merchants, he's looking to try to get a win going for the Merchants, trying to keep them at the top, at least in the CCL North. As coming into tonight, the Stompers did get back in the first place after getting the win against the Merchants last night. As Stompers are 18-11, currently on a 3-game win streak. And for the Merchants, they fell to second at 13-8, but are only a game behind out of first. LaChance delivering with the first pitch, fouled off by Jack Bollinger as we are underway here. First pitch at 5:06 p.m. Another short sleeve, beautiful night here in San Mateo. It's about in the high 60s, more like 68 degrees. LaChance missing outside with the 1-1. LaChance does carry a bit of a high ERA, but don't let that ERA fool you. It's still, pretty decent for the amount of games that he's been able to play this summer. ERA being at 6 and only 3 innings pitched, at least from what we recorded. Bollinger fouling that one off. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Bollinger, I actually witnessed him during a college season playing at Westmont, where he had a 3-homer game against Menlo College about a few months ago. Hits that one on the ground, foul down the first baseline. Jack Bollinger did graduate from Westmont, as he is from Santa Cruz, about an hour south of us, a little bit further down in the South Bay. But he had a solid 2025 season where he hit 302 with 6 home runs and 30 RBIs in 55 games, including that 3-homer game against Menlo. He was also with the Alameda Anchors, the affiliate team of the Alameda Merchants program, winning the Bay Area Collegiate League Championship in 2023. Count is at 2-2. On his missed low, now count goes full. Jack Bollinger, he did have a short stint at the D1 level, where he started at Sacramento State, but transferred to Westmont, about a level down. Westmont Division II powerhouse. Almost popped up over on the third base side. Carter Bleeker making the catch for the first out of the ball game. Now the P5 recorded. We'll give you the defensive alignment for the Legends here tonight. As starting in the outfield, Quincy Villa back in left field, Charlie Deckler back in center field, Emilio Feliciano getting the start playing right field, James Bose at shortstop, Carter Bleeker at third, Austin Rabago at second base, Mitchell Birdsall playing first base tonight, while Will Anderson is in the DH spot in a lineup, and Ryan Cartwright is behind the dish at catcher. Cy Turner fouling off the first pitch. Cy Turner about to go into his senior season at Memphis, out there in Graceland. He does come from Pacific Grove. Over on the season, Turner is hitting at 173, so trying to climb back up the Mendoza line. It's been kind of a struggle for him in the 17 games that he has played for Alameda. Chance delivering that one, but it's hit down the line. Fair ball. It's going to roll into the left field corner. Turner going to turn at first and make a wide turn at second, but he'll hold up there for the one-out double. Just like that, the Merchants have their first base runner in scoring position on the night. So Jackson Nystrom, the designated hitter tonight for the Merchants, will get his first ups. Let's give you the umpires for tonight. Kate Hart behind home plate, calling balls and strike. Andrew Bergstrom over at first base. Harold de Guzman is umpiring at third base. There's the umpire assignments. Tyler LaChance having to work with a runner on here in the top of the first. Nystrom swinging at the first pitch, but fouls it hard down the third baseline foul. Nystrom is a .357 hitter of a home run and 14 RBIs on the season. Very dangerous. I also want to mention that Carter Ball will be joining us tonight as he's going to be our color guy. He's running a little bit late. There's traffic on the 101. Of course, with it being just a little bit past 5 o'clock, some folks getting off of work here on this Wednesday evening, trying to make it home, and hopefully everybody gets home safely. And hopefully Carter Ball gets here safely, having to fight through that traffic. 0-2 on Nystrom. LaChance taking a look at second. He'll deliver. Swing and a miss. Nystrom chasing after the slider that LaChance delivered. There's two gone.
Now batting for the Merchants. Left fielder number 21, Emmett Feeney.
Here comes Emmett Feeney now. He's hitting .256 in 14 games played with a home run, 4 RBIs. And these numbers are very meekish when you think about holistically, but granted, summer ball, these players are getting used to playing every day. Runner's going to take off. Throw is way offline by Cartwright. Sails way over to Bleecker, as that's going to allow Turner to score easily on the stolen base attempt, along with the wild throw from the catcher. And just like that, the Merchants get on the board first. Actually, we're going to get a possible review here maybe. And that could have possibly hit the bat of Emmett Feeney. Actually, instead, it's going to go the other way. They'll wave it off. So the Merchants do get that first run on the wild throw from Cartwright. Is he trying to snap him? Trying to go for third. So Emmett Feeney has the count 2-0 on him at the moment. Feeney in discussion with Kate Hart. Questioning where that pitch was. So yeah, it's 2 balls and no strikes. On Feeney. Getting a little bit vocal, so is the Legends dugout. But Feeney's going to shut us all up as he singles that one out the right. Well, Feeney able to let the bat talk for himself. So the inning will continue.
Now for the Merchants. Catcher number 17, Riley Winchell.
There is still 2 away. So Riley Winchell, playing catcher tonight, will come up to the plate. Riley Winchell set to be an incoming freshman. he's actually going to be going to Pacific. The stolen base by Feeney. The 1-0 from LaChance. It's fouled. It's going to go out of play as to watch out for the College of San Mateo football team currently in summer workouts and the football field just right behind us. One is a strike right across from LaChance. Good pitch from him that time. He is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chance trying to go for the punch out to get out of the inning. 1-2 bounced. Foul. Winchell, who comes from Bay Area powerhouse Granada High School, helped Granada to a CIF NorCal Division I championship in his senior year. Played in 86 games, hitting .288 on the career, along with driving in 74 RBIs. Sends a high fly ball to center field, but it's going to be playable for Dickler. He'll make the catch, ranging back, as that will end the inning. So 1 run on 2 hits, that run being unearned by the Merchants. So we'll go to the bottom half of the first. Legends will get their first ups on the evening as you are tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Back here in San Mateo, about to get ready for the bottom of the first. Merchants do have an early lead, scoring 1 run. That run being unearned. It came on a wild throw on a stolen base attempt by Cy Turner. Tried to steal third as the throw went way offline, allowing Turner to advance 2 bases. But for the Legends, their starting lineup will go like this, with Quincy Villa batting first, James Bose batting second, Mitchell Birdsall bats third, Will Anderson, the designated hitter tonight, batting fourth, Austin Rabago batting fifth, Carter Bleeker bats sixth, Emilio Feliciano bats seventh, Ryan Cartwright batting eighth, and Charlie Degler bats ninth. And on the mound for the Merchants, it'll be Logan Stelling. Logan Stelling, the solid arm, looking to put together a quality outing as he's going to be an incoming redshirt senior who's actually teammates with Cy Turner at Memphis. He's a JUCO product playing at the powerhouse West Valley College. Quincy Villa, QV from VA, had a solid game where he made a nice defensive catch out in the outfield and also had 2 stolen bases, only reaching base 1 time, but he's looking to do a little bit more here tonight. That pitch runs inside to Villa for a ball. For Stelling, this is his 4th start in the summer, has 12 1/3 innings of work recorded. There's a strike. He is the inside part of the plate. Stelling does have a 5.11 ERA, however. Walk to strikeout ratio is pretty even with 9 walks allowed and only 11 Ks on the year. There's a strike right across the plate. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Villa. Now Riley Winchell going to come out to talk to his pitcher. Villa, he is making a case to try to make it down to Compton for the All-Star game set to begin next week. We're going to give you the announcements for who our All-Star nominees that have been selected will make it in about a few days' time. Villa, he's been having a solid summer, playing in 25 games. He does have a 250 batting average, but that 250 is a quality 250 average. The 1-2 sends out in the gap in left center as Villa is going to get on his horse and make tracks. He slides in early in the second, able to get in with a leadoff double.
Now batting for the Legends, shortstop number 7.
Quincy Villa with just only his second double on the season. Also giving him 21 total hits on the season as well. Making it a good start for the Legends on offense. So now James Bose, another solid gap hitter, is going to come up to the plate as he's the league leader, but did reach base twice on a walk and a hit by pitch. On bounces, a good stop by Winchell. Villa does not go. The second baseman, Caleb Latimer, is playing Villa pretty close to the bag. Bose sending a drive to left field. Doesn't have the legs. It is going to die at the warning track. Villa does tag. He'll go to third. And wow, James Bose gave that one a ride, but just didn't have enough muscle to send it out of the yard. But nonetheless, it is a sacrifice fly. As with that, we'll give you the defensive alignment for the Merchants as starting in the outfield, Emmett Feeney playing left field, Jack Bollinger in center field, Hayden Jung Goldberg in right field, Cy Turner playing shortstop tonight, Ben Giovanetti at third base, Caleb Latimer at second base, and Fabian Gomez at first base, and Riley Winchell behind the dish at catcher. Mitchell Birdsell taking strike one. It's Birdsell trying to turn his week around as he went 0 for 4, walking home with the golden sombrero with striking out 4 times at the plate. As he's going to send it right past Latimer in the right center field. It's going to be a base hit. Villa will jog on home to even the game up. Mitchell Birdsell tosses the golden sombrero into the crowd saying, "I'm back, folks." 1-1 here in the bottom of the first.
Number 25, Will Anderson.
And before the game, I heard the teammates saying that Mitchell Birdsell was playing MLB The Show this morning on Hall of Fame difficulty, trying to get his timing down, believe it or not. There's Will Anderson stepping in the box for the first time. Yeah, I guess Birdsell trying to have a lethal shooter moment where he understands it now. Stelling missing low and out for ball 2. Will Anderson, for him last night, he went 1 for 4. We did score once on a single. Two-0 fouled off at the plate. I got a little bit of Anderson. Anderson is batting in the low 200s on the season so far, but he does have 11 total RBIs driven in. Logan Stelling trying to see if he can put one on the ground so he can turn a double play. He misses outside with a fastball. Count now goes to 3-1 for Anderson. Austin Rabago is waiting on deck at the moment. Here comes the 3-1. Harrison fouling it down the left field line. And now the count goes full for him. All right, 10 pitches thrown for Stelling in this inning. See who wins the duel between Stelling and Anderson here. Oh, Anderson sending a drive down the right field line. Is it going to carry? No, it will not. Another one dies short. Is caught by John Goldberg. Burso retreats back the first. So another loud out as the wind here in San Mateo not giving enough carry on to baseball.
Number 18, Austin Rabago.
Another deep fly ball out. Goes for the Merchants as they have two away here in the bottom of the first. But Logan Stelling going to have to face a guy that has eyes of doorknobs at the moment with how well he's been hitting the baseball, Austin Rabago. He takes ball one outside as Rabago, who has homered twice in just 3 days. Because last night he went 2 for 4, having a solid performance at the plate with a home run. Second home run that he hit. Rabago still is active in the transfer portal, still trying to land somewhere before the fall comes around. Birdsall taking off for second. The throw down is late as Birdsall is going to have a stolen base standing up. Wow, you never really see that too often. Guy trying to steal second, going in standing up, on even with the catcher throwing it. But it's 3-0 for Rabago. They do have the go-ahead run now at second base. Rabago swinging at the 3-0 as that one is going to fall in front of Feeney. Oh, and it gets off his glove. He rolls past him. Birdsall comes in to score. Rabago turning at second, trying to go for 3. The throw is late. Austin Rabago. Yeah, shake them hips, buddy, as he continues to keep it going, giving the Legends the lead with the RBI triple. It's going to be ruled a double as it was an error out in left field by Emmett Feeney. But that RBI will go for Rabago, giving him 13 on the summer. Excuse me, make that 14 on the summer. There's Carter Bleeker now coming up, swinging and missing at the first pitch. Now 2 runs scored for the Legends here in the bottom half of the first to get the lead. Bleeker found that one, or actually hitting that one in front of home plate is ruled a fair ball. They're going to throw to first to get the out. But the Legends do score 2 on 3 hits in the bottom half of the first. Mitchell Birdsall gets an RBI of his own. Austin Rabago gets one himself as we're going to move to the second frame here in San Mateo. We're just getting things started, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Today's game is brought to you by the Clubhouse Training Center, powered by Legends Baseball, now open in Redwood City. Book private lessons, lane rentals, classes, or memberships today. It's the ultimate spot to train like a legend. A big thanks to our sponsor, Kip Sports Cards, the Bay Area's top spot for baseball cards, autographs, and collectibles. Visit Kip's in downtown Los Altos and tell them the legend sent you. Here's Tyler Chance back out for his second inning of work. He'll face Hayden John Goldberg, who steps in to lead off. Takes ball one. It's 2-1 Legends here in the top half of the second as John Goldberg delivers with a leadoff single to right.
Now batting for the Merchants. Second baseman number 9, Caleb Latimer.
Yeah, but Austin Rabago, he's continuing to see the baseball, folks, and knowing that he's a SoCal guy from Anaheim, I'm sure he spent a lot of time at the beach. But the baseball is starting to look like a beach ball for him. Half swing, but Caleb Latimer does go around for strike one. Caleb Latimer, who's getting his first AB of the night, sitting 167. A lot of these Merchants hitters trying to get their batting averages over the Mendoza line at the moment. Well, runs in, almost hits Latimer, but he gets out the way. Count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. And of all the hitters on the Merchants lineup, 8 hitters are hitting below 200 at the moment. So there's been some struggles all around. That pitch was fouled off. But it hit the knob of Latimer, so the count now goes to 2-2. Chance trying to go for the punch out against the 7-hitter. Here's the pitch. Owens hit back to the mound. LaChance will go to second, but the throw is way off. Rabago not able to grab it. Goes into center field as that will advance John Goldberg over to third. There's another costly error by the Legends. That's something you do not want to allow yourself to do as Latimer will reach, but there's runners at the corners. Still nobody out. LaChance going to have to shake that one off. There's Ben Giovanetti. Third baseman tonight will come up to the dish with the tying run now at third. Runner takes off. Is popped up out the short. Bo's going to make the catch. He's going to have to throw over to first, and they're going to get him. Double play works in the favor for the Legends on defense. Latimer of a base running snafu on the pop out. Just like that, there's 2 away. Ozera LaChance having to take a sigh of relief on that one as the base running blunder goes in effect on Alameda at that time. Now Fabian Gomez going to take ball one as the Merchants are now at the bottom of the order. Still have Hayden John Goldberg at third base. Hard ground ball, backhanded by Bose. Can't get the throw across. Yes, sir! James Bose flashing the leather like he always does. And that hypes up the Legends dugout. They keep the run from coming across as the Merchants not able to even up the score in the top half of the second. Great defense and great recovery by Menlo Park. We'll move it over to the bottom of the second. 2-1, Legends still lead. Two great plays by James Bose in the top half of the second. Keep this a one-run lead for the Legends. They'll come back up to the plate with Feliciano, Cartwright, and Degler due up here. It's the bottom three for Menlo Park. Emilio Feliciano, the Coppin State commit, being right at home literally as he wraps up his JUCO career playing for College of San Mateo's schools team. So far on the season, Feliciano, I've been seeing limited action, but has a pretty low batting average. Nothing really to write home about, but he's been more of a defensive caliber player, making solid plays out in the outfield. Also more of an in-between guy playing some infield as well. Stelling down an account 2-1 to Feliciano. Feliciano swinging through that pitch. Goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two rolled down the first baseline is going to be easy play by Gomez. One gone.
Now batting for the Legends. Catcher number 19, Ryan Cartwright.
Ryan Cartwright, catcher, will step in for the first time tonight. Oh, for the Legends, they're trying to chase down the Merchants, currently in second place, as they're only 4.5 games out of first. As a lot can happen over the next few days and for these final few weeks of the CCL season. And boy, has it been a good one. Cartwright taking low. Count goes to 1-1. It's the 1-1. Cartwright. And I get around on that. It ran high and in, but it goes foul. At the moment, the Santa Barbara Foresters are the top team in the league. As when the power rankings came out this week, Foresters were at number 1, which is really not a surprise, just knowing the history of the team. Cartwright sending it to right, and it's going to fall in front of Jung Goldberg for a base hit. Cartwright with the 1-out single. Bring up the 9-hitter and Charlie Degler. Last night, Charlie Degler went 1 for 3 with a run scored, as well as also hitting a 2 RBI single, which did take place in the second inning when the Legends had that 4-run inning against the Crawdads. Degler takes that one outside, missing way outside for Stelling. And the Legends with the win last night are now 3-0 against Walnut Creek on the season series. The Crawdads are in third place on a 4-game losing streak currently. The Legends are going to have to leapfrog the San Luis Obispo Blues to be able to get close to the Crawdads, who sit in third place in the CCL North. The 2-0 to Degler. Allen hits the corner for strike 1. Even for the Merchants, they've been playing .500 in the last 10, 5-5 in their last 10 matchups. But in the North Division, the Stompers have been playing much better ball as they are 7-3 in their last 10, as the Legends will see them later this week. It'll actually be the last time that the Legends will see the Stompers for the rest of the summer. Degler bouncing it. It's off the glove, and it's going to roll and sneak its way into a right field. And Cartwright sliding in at third. Throw gets away. Cartwright's going to go to the plate as he will come up the score standing up. Charlie Degler advances to second on the defensive miscues, still being committed by the Merchants as they add another one on, making it 3-1.
Number 3, Quincy Villa.
And that one's going to go down as a single and an error on the throw. Cartwright able to score from first on that play as Degler advances to second on the wild throw that went to third. Now Quincy Villa comes back up to the plate after he started the bottom half of the first with a leadoff double, where he was able to score the first run on the RBI single by Mitchell Birdsell. Takes a first pitch ball inside. Degler taking off for third. The throw down is going to be late. Degler in there safely with a head first slide. I guess Charlie Degler trying to steal some of Quincy Villa's thunder with the stolen base right that time. He's in a good spot here. Degler just 90 feet away from making it a 3-run game. Logan Stelling running the fastball in again. Count goes to 3-0 now. He hit a corner. Still one out. So now we're going to get a mound visit for the Merchants. Logan Stelling kind of getting rocked a little bit here in the early innings. There is an arm getting loose in the Alameda bullpen down the left field line. But the Legends, who scored 4 runs in the bottom of the second last night, have already scored in the first 2 innings tonight, already with 3 runs on the board, with the 4th run waiting patiently at third, hoping to get driven in. And the probability of that happening is pretty high with James Bose coming up to the plate after the mound visit concludes. As you can see, Kate Hart, home plate umpire, walking out to the mound, trying to cut the conversation. So now the meeting adjourns, so we'll get back to playing ball here. Logan Stelling in a rough spot, already down by 2. With 2 runners on at the corners of a dangerous hitter, and James Bose come up for the second time. It's back in the first inning. James Bose hit a sacrifice fly. Well, it had the distance, or almost had the distance from being a home run. Could have been home run number 3 for him. Villa taking off for second, but Winchell is not even going to try to get him out. It would be wise for him not to, just knowing the speed that Villa has. But now the runners are in scoring position, both of them. Degler at third, Villa at second, Bose at the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Stelling. And Bose sending it out to right. It's going to be deep enough for both Degler and Villa to tag. They both will tag. Degler will come in standing up. Villa advances to third to make it 4-1. So James Bose able to drive in his 17th RBI on the season thanks to the sacrifice fly. So you give the Legends another 2-run inning so far here, but Mitchell Birdsell will come up after he drove in the first run for the Legends tonight with the RBI single. He takes strike 1 from Stelling. Mitchell Birdsell, a recent addition for the Legends, coming by way of the Orange County Riptide after he played his first 6 games of the CCL season down in the Southland. I'm sure Nick Sanzeri's been trying to fill him into the lineup, especially knowing that we're running pretty limited on players, as there have been some departures that have taken place. Birdsell sending it out to left center field, and that ball is going to just fall beyond in front of the wall almost got a chance to go. Villa does come in the score, and Mitchell Birdsall parks it at second with the RBI double. As the Legends have now put 5 up here in the first 2 innings. The Legends are just putting belt to tail at the moment right now on the Merchants and Logan Stelling. That is not a great feeling if you're Logan Stelling. So now Will Anderson batting for the second inning in the row as he flew out to right. And this first at bat of the night. Stelling missing again outside 2-0. Pitch count is rising rapidly, but he's also getting knocked around. The Legends bats have came alive tonight. They have not cooled down from last night's performance. Misses again inside 3-0. See if Anderson gets the green light with 2 out. Now a 4-run lead. The score 5-1 for Menlo Park. Bit of a slight shift in the infield. Anderson taking on the way with a 3-0. It's ball 4.
Now batting for the Legends, second baseman number 18, Austin Rabago.
Runners at first and second now. Austin Rabago, who hit an RBI double last time up, but it was also an error recorded out in the field. But with the second mound visit, that may mean the ending of Logan Stelling's evening. As it will be, as you can see the arm for the Merchants in the bullpen making the long jog. Logan Stelling just didn't bring it tonight, folks, as he's definitely going to try to have a short memory of this one. So the new arm coming in for Alameda. We're going to take a quick break. We'll give you the rundown of who will come in relief. It's going to be a long relief outing here tonight for the new arm. Logan Stelling not able to have the stuff tonight as the Legends put up 5 runs on him. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Coming now on the pitch for the Merchants, it will be lefty Tommy Curran out of Pleasant Hill. He's set to be an incoming sophomore going to Washington. It's a product of De La Salle High School, big powerhouse where won a few CIF championships with the Spartans, but is still currently in development with the Huskies up there in Seattle. But he comes in a tough spot. Runners are at first and second with 2 out with the hot-hitting Austin Rabago now at the plate. 5-1, Legends have extended the lead, scoring 3 here in the bottom of the second. Rabago taking ball 1, first pitch out the pen from Curran. Rabago doubled and drove in a run back in the first inning. Takes a hard swing at that one, but fouls it straight back to us, but it has the netting in front. Curran, with this only being his 5th appearance, this is a pretty high ERA of 5.87 and just 7 2/3 innings of work. Able to put a strike in that time. Count is now 1-2 on Rabago. Or as we mentioned with the departures of Tucker Beal and Dane Most, us reporting on that last night, it has given more opportunity for Austin Rabago to get more playing time at the middle infield. Here's the 1-2 from Curran. Rabago will sing it down the line, and it's fair. It's going to roll into the left field corner. Birdsall rounds third. He'll come in to score. Anderson also making the turn, trying to go for the plate. The throw is going to be cut off. Austin Rabago delivers once again, driving in 2 this time. Make that a double, and I'll have another 18 with it. Now 7-1 Legends.
Now batting for the Legends, third baseman number 6.
What an inning this has been for Menlo Park. Talk about having an offensive output and an outage at that. Carter Bleeker is going to come up to the plate here. Taking a first pitch strike. So far on the summer, this inning alone has been the most runs scored for the Legends in a game. And it looks like it's going to continue. Bleeker sending it to left field. Rabago will come in to score easily, as there's just no stopping the Legends at this point.
Now batting for the Legends, right
As you can actually make this the second most runs scored for the Legends on the summer, but this has been the most runs scored in a CCL bout. Bleeker with the RBI single, now making it 8-1. Here's Emilio Feliciano coming up as Menlo Park have now batted through the order. He takes ball 1. Now Curran has been able to get the Merchants out of this inning, as one thing about the Legends, they love their 2-out rallies. They have had many games where that has occurred. There's a strike called by Kate Hart, and I think that one was a gift. Oh, I missed pretty low. Legends have scored 6 runs on 5 hits in this inning. Feliciano is going to roll that one through the hole. Nobody is there to get it. As the inning will prolong, but the Merchants could have had a chance to try to end it, as now they're pleading mercy.
Now batting for the Legends, catcher number 9.
That's going to advance.
Ryan Cartwright.
It's going to advance Bleeker over to third on a little CNI single. Oh, here's Ryan Cartwright. He got jammed that time, but fouled it off to the right side. So if Cartwright were to drive in Bleeker, it would tie the season high for runs scored in an inning for the Legends on the season, as in the opening day doubleheader that they had all the way back in early June, they had a 9 spot against the Alameda Anchors, the affiliate team of the Merchants, by the way. Cartwright sending a pop-up foul. Actually, with this 6th spot, it would be the second highest. But this has been the most runs scored in the first 2 innings of a game on the season for the team. And keep in mind, a few weeks back, the Legends did shut out the Merchants in a 13-0 win. And the pickoff move. Oh, and that throw goes into the outfield. Curran was expecting a ball call, and he probably would have wanted that more, but that's going to score Bleeker from third. Advance Feliciano over to third. Oh, the wheels are just falling off here. Another error gets booked on the Merchants. You can now make it 7 a run scored in this inning, as they will now be officially 2 shy of tying the season high. Count is 2-2 for Cartwright at the plate. Feliciano over at third. Still 2 out. Curran delivering, but is fouled again by Cartwright. And the Legends have put the Merchants in the torture chamber in this inning. It's their 3rd error on the game, as that one misses outside for ball 3. Count is full for Cartwright. See who wins the duel. Cartwright rolling it slowly over to short, played by a Turner, and over at first, Gomez not able to scoop it out the dirt. Feliciano will score. Has now been an 8-run inning for the Legends, now making it a 10-1 game.
Center fielder number 4, Charlie Degler.
We're going to see if that one's going to be ruled a hit. It may be ruled an error. It's rolled slowly by Cartwright. He was able to reach. Now Degler back at the order. At the bottom of the order. Yeah, that's going to be ruled a hit. So RBI single goes for Cartwright. Charlie Degler. Count 1-0. Oh, Degler hitting it hard back up the middle in the center field. The hit train is on the express track for the Legends right now.
Now batting for the Legends,
as they have had 8 hits alone in this inning, along with the 8 runs scored. So we're going to get another mound visit. Quincy Villa coming back up to the dish for the 2nd time in this inning. As this inning started with a ground out by Emilio Feliciano and has prolonged as it literally has felt like an eternity. And if you went to go get a snack or went to go to the door to pick up your DoorDash meal for the night, you've missed a lot. Now 8 hits have been totaled up for the Legends in this inning. So mound visit concludes. Quincy Villa, who at the very beginning of this inning reached via a walk and came around to score. Was Cartwright's now at second, Degler at first. Curran's going to stay in the game as he will deliver a first pitch strike to QV. Villa sending a drive to right, but it's going to stay high enough for John Goldberg as the bleeding has finally stopped. But at this point, the Merchants are pretty much dead in the water with the outage that the Legends put up in that inning. 8 runs on 8 hits as the Legends were one shy of tying the season high of runs scored in an inning on the season. But Tyler LaChance can cruise the rest of the way with the score now 10-1 here in San Mateo. As we're going to go to the top of the third, we'll be back here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Finally made it to the top of the third, folks. We are back here in San Mateo after the Legends just put a beat down on both Logan Stelling and Tommy Kern in the bottom of the second, scoring 8 runs to now make it a 10-1 game. And now joining us after fighting through the 101 traffic is Carter Ball, who is going to be our color guy tonight. How you doing, Carter?
I'm doing amazing. Great day for some baseball. Great day for a Legends win. Missed a lot, but all that was pretty positive for the Legends.
Jack Bollinger, fly ball to center field. Degler going to the knees to make the catch.
Just one of those days for the Legends where everything's falling right, even when they have to dive for it. It kind of feels like the opposite for the Anchors with already a missed pick, 2 infield hits in the same inning. Just one of those days where the Legends are really getting every bounce that comes their way.
Yeah, the Merchants have just been having it rough here, Carter, and just seeing how upside down this game has turned for them has given the Legends some new life at the plate as here's Cy Turner taking ball 1 outside.
I mean, yeah, hitting is contagious, and I'm pretty sure any good hitter, any guy that plays baseball would tell you that because the pitcher's throwing the same either way, and kind of the only thing you have to judge your confidence on once you see what he's like is what your teammate's doing, how you're seeing the ball, the hand, if it's funky movement, if a ton of guys are striking out, that kind of brings your confidence down, and it's kind of doing the opposite for the Legends, even with a good power 4 arm on the mound that they can shows how contagious hitting can be, and Legends really stringing some hits together.
Yeah, and Carter, you're coming off, playing a game today, so, just knowing that you've been able to have those kind of reps in and kind of, having a similar experience that, these Legends guys are having for the summer, how could you compare the kind of pitching that you've seen compared to the pitching that these guys see?
I mean, it's obviously just a different level once you get to college. But, I remember one of the first games I did this summer, the Alameda Anchors, I believe. Might have been the Merchants. No, it was the Anchors. It was the Anchors. Hugo Guzman Jr. in my class was Hillsdale High School. My team played him this year. He pitched against the Legends, and he went 6 innings scoreless. So, I mean, there's still some similarities. Once you get to high school, everybody can pitch, but I don't see velocity like the Legends are facing, and definitely not as good as the hitters as them.
Well, Cy Turner reaches bases on the base on balls, so Tyler LaChance surrenders only just his first walk of the night as he's been pretty good so far here, folks. But, again, you don't want to get too carried away with a 9-run lead. As with how these games have been, a lot can change, especially with it still being pretty early.
And sometimes as a pitcher, like you can thrive in those close moments when it's a close game, when it's kind of like you feel like you have too much room for error or no room for error at all because you don't want to be the reason that they get back in the game. You start thinking too much a little bit when the game's kind of a blowout like this, and I've seen some command issues so far, but I think he can't get back on track because even if he grooves like 5 fastballs down the middle that get taken deep, the Legends will still be winning. So,
Jackson Nystrom fouling off that pitch, count of 1-1. LaChance missing outside. Count goes now to 2-1.
And just to touch on the last thing I said, it's kind of the opposite for a hitter. In a not close game, I feel like you play more freer, you play loose. You know that,
Nystrom sending a deep fly ball to left field. Villa ranging back on it, and he's going to make the catch. Run it down, losing the cap. And not only does Villa possess solid speed on the base paths, he could also have a ton of range out there in the outfield, patrolling fly balls and catching them in the act.
Yeah, that is a great hawk down by Villa, just knowing where the ball is going to be as soon as the ball hits the bat. It's kind of a trait that only college outfielders can possess when you play in the game that long. It's a great play from Villa.
And one thing about Quincy Villa, his 60-yard dash was clocked at 6:67 at a showcase one year when he was still in high school. So that speed has carried over. But interesting enough about him, he was a basketball star along with being a baseball star in high school. But you think about possibly putting this guy on the gridiron, I'm sure. Like we had the CSM football team on the summer workouts, so I'm sure he could probably go catch the pigskin a little bit if you put him out there with those guys.
Yeah, guys with that build. And
another fly ball to left. Villa not able to grab this one. He's going to play on a hop. He's going to get the throw in the second, trying to see if he could grab Turner, but it's going to be a single for Emmett Feeney.
Yeah, just as I was saying, guys with the build and athleticism and speed like Villa, you kind of put them on any sports field and you'll succeed.
Catcher number 17, Riley Winchell.
So Riley Winchell, who flew out to center field back in the first inning, will come up. There's 2 gone. Here in the top of the third, we've already only played just over an hour here in San Mateo. Well, a chance, unless that pitch gets away, it runs in, it hits Winchell on the leg. So now the bases will be loaded for the Merchants.
And this is what you don't want to see from the pitching staff, especially in games like this. You want the game to flow well. You want the game to move fast, kind of get out of there a little bit, efficient pitchers, and that's not really what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time in this game left for Alameda as Hayden John Goldberg, who singled back in the second inning, will come up for the second time tonight.
And I mean, as much as the Legends are really just kind of demolishing the Merchants right now, it's not like the Merchants are playing bad. I mean, 4 hits in 2 innings. Like, the Merchants should be happy about their at-bat so far today.
Yeah, just the pitching has been kind of off for them, as coming into tonight, the Merchants carried a team ERA of 5.07, which doesn't really necessarily sound like a lot because the Legends are kind of hovering around that same mark. But it really depends on the kind of day that you're going to have and how you're feeling when you come to the ballpark.
Yeah, those are those hit-or-miss days, guys, with those ERAs. And I feel like Legends maybe a little more balanced out, but definitely seems very top-heavy for the Merchants looking at the inning and the ERA total right here.
The half swing, and John Goldberg does not go around on that one. Count now goes to 3-1. So John Goldberg trying to look for the walk or the knock here. Send a fly ball to left. It will be playable for Villa. Catching that out in the shade to end the inning. 3 runners left on. Nothing doing for the Merchants. Not able to make a dent in the 9-run deficit. We'll go to the bottom of the third here in San Mateo as you're tuning in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. 10-1, Legends lead. Want to follow all things Legends? Check out Menlo, www.menloparklegends.com for live scores, game schedules, player stats, news articles, and more. That's menloparklegends.com, your home for everything Legends baseball. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram. Catch all the college action at Legends_collegiate and get a behind-the-scenes look at our legendary youth camp program at Legends Baseball Camps, all one word. As here we are in the bottom of the third, it's a 10-1 lead for the Legends as James Bose will lead things off as he contributed to the big 8-run inning the last time with a sacrifice, a fly that drove in a run. Tommy Curran still out there on the mound for Alameda. First pitch runs inside for a ball.
Yeah, Tommy Curran's struggling right now. Command's been pretty good. Just everything feels like it's getting barreled.
Bose continuing to keep the hitting going right where the Legends left off where they started with a leadoff single.
That's exactly what you need from Bose. Not trying to come unglued, trying to hit the ball all over the yard. Has confidence, trying to hit the ball up the middle. That's what he did. It's a beautiful swing right there from James Bose.
Yeah, James Bose continuing to still make his candidacy for the CCL All-Star game next week in Compton, Carter, and just knowing that, most of our Legends guys, or some of our Legends guys, have a shot to participate in the game. From who have you seen, who you think has a good shot of making it?
I think Quincy Villa. He's hitting 250. He has the most at-bats on the Legends by far. It's in among qualified batters, probably the best batting average at 250. He's very fast, great defender. I think he's kind of the guy that teams fear in the field, knowing that whenever he gets on, it's going to be an extra base. And then James Bose, obviously, has been playing amazing at both third, second, shortstop all summer, especially with his commitment to Santa Clara. I think he's hot. And then other than that, I think there are a couple guys you can really make an argument for, but lots of guys like T.J. Schmalzy and maybe Tucker Beal, other guys that have left, could have been in that conversation. So it's a little unfortunate, the departures for the Legends.
Yeah, definitely. We have lost some pretty big bats, even like Dan Most, another guy that departed as of yesterday. But it seems like it hasn't really deterred the Legends' morale as, with the way that they've been performing, like the way that they played last night against the Crawdads and the way that they've been playing tonight against the Merchants. You can see that there's like a newfound confidence built into the dugout now.
Yeah, every game's different for a reason, and especially in summer ball when these guys are getting used to new routines in a new area, it's just the small things to make the difference in how a guy feels. Like, if a guy, gets more sleep than he does, or if there's traffic on the road at the dorms, these guys are staying in dorms, host families. There's so many conditions that go into whether or not they're able to put forth their best effort every day. And there's going to be fluctuations in summer ball and performance, and that's kind of natural. But the Legends have done a good job to balance it out throughout the summer.
Yeah, as Birdsall goes down looking for strike three, Will Anderson will come up with one out. Both still at first. Anderson swings at the first pitch, fouls it off.
And especially for a big power bat like Anderson, this is a confidence-boosting at-bat. You have a runner on. It's not super high leverage. There's only one out. You can do a job even if you don't get a hit. This seems to be a confidence builder for Anderson to kind of prove that he can get a barrel right here.
Anderson flew out the first time, the right field in the first inning, but walked in the second inning. It looked like that one hit Anderson on the hand. Well, it's going to be ruled a foul ball, however. Does it sound like it did hit the knob?
He's showing the umpire the ball.
And, Anderson taking off his batting glove, showing him the finger, and, Kate Hart's going to give him the base. So it'll be ruled a hit by pitch for Anderson. So now runners are at first and second with one out.
That's another one of those just terrible bounces for the anchors. They're just doing nothing right. Or the Merchants, my bad.
And you see TC Fairfield, head coach from Merchants, coming out to talk to Kate Hart, questioning the call there, just kind of giving his 2 cents.
From our viewpoint, definitely looked like it got his hand and then kind of slid down the knob. But, we're prolonging this. This is ugly.
Yeah, now all the umpires will convert to discuss the call. The Kate Hart, Andrew Bergstrom, and Harold de Guzman discussing it as Oh, well, go ahead, Carter.
Sorry, I mean, even if they did hit the bat and it's a foul ball, the Legends are lucky that Will Anderson's okay after that, because especially in a blowout game like this, you don't want your best power hitter, four-hole guy to go down because he broke his finger getting hit by a pitch in a blowout. So that's a lucky bounce for the Legends yet again, even if the call doesn't go their way.
Yeah, definitely. And as the umpires are discussing the call, we'll give you a rundown of the out-of-town scoreboard in the CCL tonight as the Waves are at the Riptide. Game has not started yet, set to start later. The San Francisco Seagulls are on the road playing the Arroyo Seco Saints, so they go into the Southland to take on the Saints. The Bombers and the Barons face off. Of course, you have our game here, Merchants and Legends, and the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Santa Barbara Foresters, more like a battle of the Central Coast. Happening later tonight. The Stompers are on the road at the Crawdads. The Crawdads trying to snap that 4-game losing streak. Already up 5-0 in that game.
It's a home stretch in the CCL, final full month.
As we just got an update, actually, the Crawdads are actually up 9-5 against the Stompers in their game. So here comes Austin Rabago back up to the dish as he looks at strike one as Rabago batted twice in the second inning.
Rabago, I believe, got the first hit off of Curran so far with that opposite field double with 2 RBIs.
Actually, excuse me, that was one at bat that Rabago was able to get as he didn't get two at bats in the last inning, as he actually has only had 2 total at bats on the night, already 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs totaled up, both of the hits being doubles.
Yeah, and these guys also love these games because it's just free reps. These guys, all they're looking to do is.
It's popped up over the second base side, and they're going to call an infield fly on that one as Latimer still makes the catch for the second out. Yeah, but Card, like, they scored so many runs that it's making my scorecard look like a mess.
It's a good problem to have, Philip. And it's just, again, like I was saying, really happy to see these guys. All they want to do is, find a new home to play or find a starting spot at whatever college they're at, and it's good for them to get this at-bats and experience in a blowout.
There's Carter Bleeker foul tipping the first pitch he sees from Curran.
And Bleeker, a guy that's kind of looking to step up after the departures of some of the starting infield. So the guy, CSM guy, local guy, playing for Coach Lucas. It'd be big for him to kind of break out as a superstar to end the summer.
Yeah, Bleeker definitely trying to embrace these opportunities. He looks at the 0-1 pitch for ball one, and coming from Reno, Nevada, being a JUCO guy from out of state, bit of a, not a usual thing you tend to see, especially in California.
Yeah, I mean, just speaks to how good the California JUCOs are. I mean, we got a lot represented on this team too, but like Kenyatta, CSM, Skyline, Ohlone, Delta, Mission. You go up and down, top to bottom, West Valley. They're all like some of the elite guys, and even guys like Gavin Shattuck's coming from Texas to play at Ohlone. Like, really just speaks to their region and how strong it is with baseball.
The 1-2 from Curran.
And that trickles all the way down to the high school ball too. I mean, you go up here, a ton like WCal, PAL, commits everywhere, and I feel like we're in a really talent-rich area, and it makes us collegiate summer league in the area even more intense because people are really tuned into baseball. It's really beautiful to see.
Bleeker sending the 2-2 pitch to right, but it's going to be playable for Jung Goldberg. He'll make the catch to end the inning. The Legends leave 2 on only 1 hit. Not able to add on to their 9-run lead. We'll go to the 4th. Still a 10-1 lead for the Legends. So Tyler Chance's night is done as he will leave with a 9-run lead intact for the Legends as Matthew Anderson comes out of the bullpen to probably get some innings in, get his reps in long relief as Caleb Latimer will lead off the inning for the Merchants in a 10-1 game here in San Mateo. Latimer fouling off the first pitch from Anderson.
Everyone looking to see something from Anderson. New guy, kind of hasn't been with the Legends for a while. Throws hard. Let's see if he can give the Legends some productive innings.
Yeah, Matthew Anderson wrapped up his high school career. Still not sure where he's committed to as of now, but from what we do know about him, he played at the same high school that Will Anderson went to, Christopher High down in Gilroy. But he's a big guy, folks. 6'5", 235. He was also a tight end for the football team at Christopher. Latimer checked his swing that time. Count goes to 2-2 even.
Yeah, football background right here, and recent graduate, just finished high school. Let's see if he can. He's definitely big for his size. It's interesting to see a dual sport guy like this.
Yeah, I mean, a guy at 6'5", 235, you would think he would want to play college ball at the collegiate level. Like, he has the size of a tight end when you think about it.
I mean, his Twitter is all football, and that's he's 6'5", with that athletic build. It really lends itself to football. Interesting, maybe in an interview after the game, found out why he chose baseball over football.
Yeah, well, it does say here that his travel team during high school, he played for, top tier NorCal baseball, a big travel ball program here in the state for many players in the Bay Area.
Yeah, NorCal top tier, really good program, yeah.
Swing and a miss. Dropped there, a strike by Latimer. Trying to get the tag down and trying to get the first, so Latimer trips over the first base bag on the throw attempt from Cartwright. Look like he'll stay safe.
That's kind of the first bounce all day that has not gone the Legends' way. You'll live with that, but that's just a funky play right there on first base for Lattimore, who's a very fast runner.
Yeah, so that's going to be ruled an error on the catcher on the throw.
Third baseman number 28, Ben Giovanetti.
So a runner on here to begin the top half of the fourth. That's going to bring up Ben Giovanetti.
Just one ground ball away right here for Anderson. It's got to be the approach. Got to stay low in the zone right here.
Does take off. Cartwright not able to grasp the ball firmly once again. So it'll be a stolen base for Latimer. There's a little bit more about Matthew Anderson. Actually, he had some words that he actually had a shot to go to Texas.
Yeah, I was looking at his Twitter right now. Not exactly sure what sport he meant for that, but decommitted from Texas in October.
James Bowe was able to get the 6-3 put out on the ground ball. There's one gone.
And no matter what the sport is, committing to Texas is hard. So this is obviously a high-level athlete right now for the Legends.
Yeah, like for Matthew Anderson, of course, like he does have a size of most Division I tight ends in college ball. Knowing that you're a college football guy, I'm sure you could attest to this.
Oh, yeah, big college football guy. I mean, that's kind of the mold for tight ends. You want to be able to flex out wide as a receiver. 6'4" to 6'6" range is kind of the ideal, and Anderson fits that perfectly.
Latimer stealing another base. He goes for third, able to get in safely. Cartwright, just know if like they're what Matthew Anderson's putting on the ball or something, but he's not. He's struggling trying to grasp it firmly. It's like we need to get Patrick Starr out here. Count is 1-0 on Fabian Gomez, who grounded out to the shortstop back in the second inning.
And it's stuff that doesn't go in the stat sheet, but that's a great frame right there from Cartwright on the ball. That's a little bit low. Frame it up, make it seem higher. It's a great frame right there.
Now, so the Merchants do have a chance to score their second run on the game. It would be the first time they've scored since the first inning. But it's going to take a lot more than just one measly run to get back in this game for them. A swing and a miss by Gomez on that pitch from Anderson. He's now down the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That is a really good pitch right there. Slider going into the batter. That's hard to kind of stay short, too, as a left-handed batter.
1-2. Anderson blows him away, getting him on strike 3 for the second out.
And the Legends dugout is loving this. This is kind of the game that they come to the ballpark for, even the guys that aren't playing. The guys in the bullpen are having fun. Dugout's having fun. It's a great day to be a Legend right now.
Yeah, you said it, Carter. There's Jack Bollinger, who's 0 for 2 on the night so far. But he does possess some pretty good power. Swinging and missing through the first pitch on the fastball from Anderson.
Yeah, and it's not really crazy velocity from Anderson. Definitely has some run away from a lefty hitter into a righty. But 85 miles an hour, it's not going to blow the stat sheet off the paper. But it's getting the job done right now for the Legends.
Bollinger sending the 0-1 to center. Going to be a can of corn for Deckler, as that's going to end the inning. Oh, the Merchants, once again, not able to do anything, trying to put a dent in the deficit. They leave a runner on as we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 10-1, Legends in front. You're tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network.
Getting off the bottom of the fourth for the Legends.
Today's game is brought to you by the Clubhouse Training Center, powered by Legends Baseball and now open in Redwood City. Book private lessons, land rentals, classes, or memberships today. It's the ultimate spot to train like a legend. And a big thanks to our sponsor, Kips Sports Cards, the Bay Area's top spot for baseball cards, autographs, and collectibles. Visit Kips in downtown Los Altos and tell them the legend sent you. Well, here we are in the bottom of the fourth, still 10-1, Legends in front. Emilio Feliciano will lead off. And we finally discovered the mystery of Matthew Anderson's commitment, as he will be going to Ohlone next spring to be tutored under Nick Sanzeri and the pitching system for the Renegades.
Yeah, definitely got potential to work with. I mean, 6'5", 230. Again, that's a basketball body, baseball body, football body. You're trying to see if Coach Sanzeri can mold that and do a really good pitcher.
Yeah, and he'll definitely be in quite the program. Of course, we know the long-standing, history of Ohlone baseball being a national powerhouse in the JUCO ranks, as well as also knowing Nick Sanzeri's prowess as a pitching coach for his time being there, this brief time at that.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Ohlone. I mean, 3 of the 4 guys I'm about to mention are on the Legends this summer, but the whole infield was committed. It's Stephen F. Austin, Akron, Santa Clara, and Gonzaga. That's a really good stack for a JUCO, no matter where you are, and that is just a lethal infield that any pitcher would love to pitch to.
Luciano was saying that one just foul, as trying to make a diving effort for it was Gomez. Not able to come up with the ball, however. Yeah, well, we know how stacked JUCO baseball here in California can be, especially for you getting looked at by D1s. But we also have to mention that is also an opportunity for many major league scouts to get looked at. Of course, we send a lot of JUCO California guys to the show, as Feliciano is seeing a deep fly ball, but it's going to go foul down the left field line. Yeah, but Carter, just knowing that the MLB draft is about a few days away now, we know that there's going to be a lot of names that are going to be getting called and moving on to the next level.
Yeah, and it seems like these days, if you draft in the first round, you either need to be 17 or you need to be in the SEC. That's kind of how it is. Guys like Seth Hernandez, Billy Carlson, guys out of high school that are getting lots of draft hype. And then the other guys you look at, like Liam Doyle, some other SEC guys, that's kind of the cream of the crop. And a lot of guys in the Legends are kind of that intermediate. Now, I'm sure, I wouldn't imagine anybody on the Legends gets drafted, obviously. It's kind of interesting to see the two levels, like the intermediate that we kind of see today with the Legends.
And the CCL is pretty stacked with talent for names to get called. So Feliciano is going to go down looking on strike 3. Oh, Feliciano not able to capitalize on that at bat. It's his third at bat of the night, as he is now 1 for 3, but does have an RBI single to go with it.
I mean, these are the games where, like, 1 for 3, RBI base hit, like, you will take that in any game, but sometimes when the whole team is hitting, it kind of feels like a letdown. But, like, that's 333 on the stat line, and it's hard to not get in your head about not doing better, but still a good day from Emilio.
And solid ground ball play there by Cy Turner, able to get the throw across in time to get Cartwright for the second out.
Interesting to see how the Legends' bats have kind of died a little bit. Not sure if Curran's settling in more, in the feel for the mound, feel for the game, or if the Legends truly just only hitting bunches. Because I kind of expect to see a little bit better at bats than I've seen so far since that 8-run spot in the second inning.
Yeah, so far the line score tonight has been 1 run, 4 hits, 3 errors for the Merchants, 10 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors for the Legends, as Charlie Degler looks at a breaking pitch from Tommy Curran for strike 1.
And I've really been impressed with Charlie Degler. I feel like every time I tune into the Legends, he gets a hit.
Yeah, Degler is 2 for 2 on the night so far. He's going to beat out that infield single. He's going to go now 3 for 3. And, man, Charlie Degler cannot be stopped, Carter.
He is flying down that line. No sense of urgency from Curran right there. He's going to have a little bit more of an internal clock as a pitcher, but that won't hurt him too much. But if Quincy Villa gets on base here, look for another 3-4 run spot from the Legends with Degler and Villa on the bases. Feels like a single can move each guy 2 bases with their speed.
Yeah, back to the top of the order with Quincy Villa coming back up to the dish. He is 1 for 2 on the night as he's started the bottom half of the first with a double. He walked in the second inning during that 8-run rally and also flew out to end the inning back in the second. Degler taking off with a stolen base, and he's going to get in there safely. Charlie Degler with another stolen base, and a bit of a interesting move there, especially being up by 9, Carter.
I don't know. I mean, stats are stats. Guys want to get looked at, but maybe they feel like there's a little something extra there because it's really unnecessary, especially because it wasn't a straight steal. I mean, he left before the ball was thrown. He was obviously trying to do that, timing that up, and kind of getting in their head up 9. Not sure what the Legends are doing.
Yeah, Tommy Curran kind of having to keep a close eye on Degler is getting a little bit frazzled out there.
Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of like that for the Legends. Build some confidence, get some base runners in, get some guys hitting with runners in scoring position, simulate high leverage spots even in a game that's not high leverage. I kind of like it from the Legends needing to make a playoff push in the last month of the CCL, so I don't hate it.
Yeah, tonight marking the 5 games left before the All-Star break, but these wins matter a lot for the Legends down the stretch.
Yeah, I haven't been able to.
Ground ball to third. Giovanetti able to get Villa on the throw to retire the side. It's only a runner left on 1 hit. Nothing doing for the Legends that inning. So we'll go to the 5th frame, halfway home here in San Mateo. So here we are in the top of the fifth. 10-1 Legends holding a comfortable lead over the Alameda Merchants, trying to even up against them in the season series. Matthew Anderson coming back out for his second inning of work. And we also want to note that Matthew Anderson happens to be related to Will Anderson.
Probably should have put the dots together a little sooner. Same last name, same team, same JUCO, same area, same high school, just 2 years apart. Probably should have figured that one out sooner, but we got our information givers for us, kind of feeling us out right there.
Yeah, we didn't want to assume anything. Similar body builds, like similar backgrounds, but, they didn't hand me the DNA test, so I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, quite the athletic family just between Will and Matthew.
Cy Turner leads out the inning, fouling off the 2-0 pitch.
And I wonder, Matthew as a pitcher and Will as a hitter, how many live at-bats they used to do for wiffle ball back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Right. I'm sure there was probably some fun competitions in the backyard growing up.
That's probably what helped get them to this point in their baseball careers is that competition.
Anderson missing outside with the 3-1 pitch. The 2-1 pitch that now goes to a 3-1 count.
I think Anderson's overthrowing a little bit right here. I think he needs to trust his fastball.
Able to get in the zone that time, and Kate Hart says, "Where are you going, Cy Turner?" So now the count goes full.
Yeah, I think he needs to rear back to that fastball and make them prove they can hit it.
Payoff pitch hit out in the left center field. It's going to split the gap and roll to the wall. Degler trying to chase it down. Cy Turner making the turn at second. They're going to try to get the throw in, but it's cut off by Rabago. Cy Turner leads off the inning with a triple.
I mean, at least he listened to me. Not the result I wanted, but a great swing right there.
Yeah, Cy Turner willing to take the knock over the walk. So the Merchants, once again, with a runner at third, still trying to put a run on the board as they have had 3 scoreless innings so far in this game.
And, I mean, even if that happens again for Anderson, this game is well in out of reach for the Merchants. So I think he needs to trust his fastball, keep throwing strikes, and let the dominoes fall as they may.
Nystrom fouling off the first pitch. Nystrom is 0 for 2 on the night. He struck out, flew out to left field.
And these are the games that you want to at least feel good personally about, even when your team gets smacked. So there's a lot of pride in these at-bats for the Merchants.
Yeah, you still have eyes watching you, even in a blowout win, and knowing that in summer ball you're going to have these kind of nights. But at the same time, you're still getting checked by possible scouts and possible recruiters for the guys in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for competition, obviously. I think these guys want to compete, and they are competing. And even on days like this, still they need to compete. Even if it's not against the players, they can compete against the stat sheet because, as you said, this is a time for development. This is time to get seen. And there's no other league like the CCL. It's kind of structured like this. There are other leagues like it, but great structure from the CCL so far.
Yeah, Nystrom swings and misses at the 0-2 pitch. He goes down on 3 pitches. So now Emmett Feeney, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles on the evening, will come up for the 3rd time.
And I mean, I know they want to chase 9 as the Merchants, but this needs to be the situational baseball. Infield playing back, hit a chopper on the ground, get out, score a run. It still needs to be the mindset for these guys. I think they're trying to come unglued, come out of their shoes, and it's might leave a runner stranded on 3rd.
Feeney got jammed on that pitch. Now roll in front of the Merchants dugout. Anderson trying to go for a strikeout number 3 here in relief. Fly ball hit down the left field line, but it's going to go right into the Merchants bullpen. Catch made by the pitcher warming up over there.
And keep an eye on that new pitcher coming in for the Merchants. See if the Legends can get some runs back after that second inning explosion because they've kind of died off with the bat so far.
0-2, swung on and missed by Feeney. Still go grab a seat. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Anderson.
And it's a lack of fundamental baseball from the Merchants. All they need is a ground ball or a fly ball, just a ball in play, scores a run 2 times in a row. Now they get themselves in a groove for Anderson, needing a hit now. It's a much harder situation than the last 2 at-bats have been. So really just an example of how the cookie has crumbled so far for the Merchants. It's a terrible day for their bats. Despite not a bad hit total, just no situational hitting so far.
Here's Riley Winchell. Matthew Anderson delivering an off-speed pitch that Winchell chased in the dirt.
That pitch moved like a splitter. That was disgusting.
Merchants trying to put something up. As there's a fly ball hit the left field, Quincy is going to play that one off the wall. And Winchell is going to go into second. He slides in safely and drives inside Turner from third base. So the Merchants able to put a run up, now making it a 10-2 game on the hard hit ball by Riley Winchell.
Forget everything I said about situational hitting right there. That's just an absolute crush ball, probably hung by Anderson, but that's how you punish a ball. I mean, 365, 370 feet, not a bomb, probably a little frustrating, but 100 miles an hour off the bat. Doesn't matter if that's off a tee, if that's off an MLB arm, if that's off Matthew Anderson. That's an amazing hit right there. Amazing swing for Turner.
And we're going to get another hard hit ball. It's going to fall in the left center field. Degler's going to have to play it on the hop. It's going to be enough to score Winchell easily as Hayden Jung Goldberg delivers with an RBI single to now give the Merchants 3 runs on the board.
And apparently hitting is contagious for both teams. I don't think this will turn into an 8 spot like the Legends did in the second inning, but that's similar to string of hit after hit after hit. Is got to be frustrating for the Legends who really want to get this game flowing a little bit better and get some backups in and a lot of guys reps, making that difficult right now. The Merchants are.
Matthew Anderson still trying to look for that last out he needs to get out of this inning, with Caleb Latimer coming back up to the plate, who reached base twice, but not in the most conventional way. Reached base on an error, as well as also reaching base on a drop third strike tonight so far.
And one really noticeable thing for me is just the errors. Been sloppy defense so far. They have 3 errors from both teams. That's going to affect the score in many ways. Affects pitch counts, affects rotations. That's really big and kind of surprising to see from such high-level teams in a high-level league. 6 errors through 4 2/3 innings. That's not acceptable for either squad right there.
Yeah, a combined total of 6 errors in this game. Not very common in high-level collegiate baseball, like at any level, really. But, you know, again, it's not that kind of game that we've had, Carter. We've been seeing, like, the offense being the main highlight.
Yeah, Philip, I mean, for me in my games, like 1, 2 errors, that's oftentimes going to lose you a game. It's even more pronounced when guys can punish mistakes the way these guys can.
We're taking off for second. Oh, and the throw from Cartwright hits off of John Goldberg's helmet. It rolls out in the shallow left. Goldberg is going to advance to third on that play there. A bit of an oddity that time.
I don't know what happened with the baseball gods, but they want chaos today. I mean, an 8-run second inning, 6 errors through 4 innings, a ball bouncing off a dude's helmet and a sidearm jump man throw to a pitcher covering third base to almost make the play. No sliding, like, everything possible about that play that's funky happened, and that is really cool to see. It's a great play.
I have never seen anything like that, Carter, where a throw down on the stolen base attempt hits off of the runner's helmet, ricochets, and allows him to advance another 90 feet.
Yeah, I mean, only in the CCL.
Apparently so. Matthew Anderson does still have the count 2-2 on him. Latimer fouls off that pitch.
And those are the moments as a pitcher where you're just like, come on, man. Like, there's nothing you're going to do about that. You can't control that in any way, shape, or form. Very, very frustrating when it's out of your control. I'd rather have a bomb hit off me than something like that happen. See if Anderson can regroup.
Well, Latimer almost went after it, but shows good play discipline there. Count now goes full. So Jung Goldberg waiting at third, hopefully to get driven in. Anderson trying to win at the plate. It's fouled off just barely by Latimer.
I mean, big pitch right here for Anderson. just for the flow of the game, for the flow of the bats, for the legends. And I mean, if he walks this guy and then makes mistakes to the next guy, 4 runs through 5 innings, that's an attainable lead for the Merchants to come back from. But if you can shut this guy out, it's not.
Another foul hit by Latimer.
Latimer having quite an at-bat right here. And I mean, either way, you should be happy with this at-bat. Really battling, seeing a lot of pitches. It's kind of a morale boost for the Merchants, kind of show that they do have life and they do have time to possibly make a comeback.
Harrison trying to win the duel. Ground ball to third. Bleeker's going to play it. Oh, no, he's not able to grasp it firmly. It stops on a dime just under the glove, as that's going to allow Hayden John Goldberg to score from third. So it gets ruled an infield single for Caleb Latimer, now making it a 10-4 game. Merchants cutting deficit now down by 6.
And that's a frustrating play, and I'm sure Anderson deep down is a little bit mad at Carter Bleeker right now. But I'm here to say that even if that ball is fielded cleanly and thrown well, he's probably safe. And that's just one of those, unlucky bounces for the Legends that went their way in the beginning of the game, not going their way in a 3-run fifth inning, and see if Anderson can limit the damage.
Giovanetti taking a big hack at that one, but it goes way foul on the first pitch. Count 0-1 for Anderson as Ben Giovanetti coming up for the third time as he popped out the short in the second inning and grounded out the short. Last AB in the fourth, but he looks at strike 2.
I mean, this is, again, a really big at-bat for Giovanetti because we're looking at it. I mean, if he can get 4 runs right here, get the guy on first in, maybe gap a ball, you cut into that 8-run inning with a 4-run inning into your own. That's huge right here and a big at-bat. Oh, great block by Cartwright.
Now it's about to be a pass ball. Count goes now to 1-2. And, yeah, Carlick, the Merchants could chip away at this deficit. With still a lot of baseball left to go tonight, but the Legends have to do everything they can to prevent that.
It'll be really interesting to see what Nick Cincinnati decides to do with the pitching. If he wants to put a high leverage arm.
Bleeker able to make the play that time as Birdsell digs it out the dirt to finally retire the side. But the Merchants do bring 3 across on 4 hits in that inning. As we're going to the bottom half of the fifth, it's now a 10-4 game for the Legends, still in front. Here in the bottom of the fifth, after the Merchants were able to get 3 runs across after being held to only just 1 since the first inning, as they'll bring out a new pitcher in A.J. Gamboa, who's currently in the transfer portal at the moment, but he stands at 6'2", 225, and gets the fastball up to 89 miles per hour.
A very effortless delivery. Almost looks like he's throwing it, not pitching it. Big body, transfer portal guy, 87 to 89. Kind of a generic pitcher, I'd say, for the collegiate level. We'll see if he has enough movement and stuff to make up for it.
Now, the first batter that he will see is James Bose, who takes the first pitch high. So the Legends, even still a hefty lead, trying to get those runs back.
Yeah, I mean, especially for these confidence-building games, you don't want to know in the back of your mind, yeah, we won, but we let them crawl back.
That ball stays fair at third, but the throw is high. It's going to roll down the line. It's going to be enough for Bose to advance over to second. That's going to be a throwing error on Ben Giovanetti at third base.
Yeah, and I mean, as I was saying, this is a game that, like, if the Legends win this game 10 to 8, it's like, okay, we got to win. We put up 10 runs, but you know in the back of your mind, like, we let them put up 700 runs. Nothing that's going to happen. But unanswered runs, like, you don't want that. You want to kind of step on their throats, not let not let off the gas, and the Legends are really looking to add to that. Can make it 14-4, 18-4. That is a way different vibe than 12-8, 10-7, even scores like that don't really assert the dominance that you want in this part of the season.
Yeah, and it's like that. Like both teams are now even with 4 errors recorded, so 8 errors in this game alone.
It's a Little League.
Mitchell Birdsall taking the first pitch outside. I mean, hey, we're like a month out from the Little League World Series, but sure, like those 12-year-olds that'll be playing out in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, won't try to commit 4 errors in their games.
Yeah, it probably won't happen in their games. Kind of a little bit embarrassing, I'd say, for both teams, the error total right now. But there's nothing too out of control. I mean, I don't think that any of these errors had a major impact on the score. But you cut down those errors, you get those extra outs, you save arms. Who knows how the flow of the game changes sometimes.
Mitchell Birdsall, being his 4th at bat, having a good night after striking out 4 times last night. He's had an RBI single and an RBI double. Only struck out looking once. So big improvement. I guess him playing MLB The Show this morning on Hall of Fame difficulty has helped him see the ball better. That is true, by the way, Carter. Just if you haven't heard.
If it works, it works.
It looks at strike 2 from Gamboa.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Play wiffle ball. You play MLB The Show. Baseball's all a superstitious game.
Like the method that I had when I played was I just went to the batting cage, like hit off the machine.
Yeah, it can be therapy to kind of get by yourself and hit sometimes.
A count full for Birdsall, trying to see if he can get one to hit against Gamboa. Looking for the walk or the knock.
Sure, he'd rather the knock.
Oh, he's going to get the walk, so Birdsall will reach. And now runners are at first and second, nobody out.
This is another really confidence-boosting needed at bat for Will Anderson. Just to get into the ball. I know he struggled the last couple of weeks, not hitting too great at 143. But all he needs to focus on is getting a hard barrel on the ball right here. And with this situation, that will play and move a runner over.
So Will Anderson going to step in the box here, still trying to see if he could get on the board with a hit.
You never want to be the one guy in the lineup that doesn't hit well in any given game.
Especially in a game like this where it's high scoring. Gamboa missing with the first pitch low for ball 1.
Kind of interesting to see Aloni Stars and D1 commits Will Anderson and Gavin Shaddix kind of have amazing JUCO season and then start to fall off a little bit as the summer season has progressed. I mean, obviously, they're great players and they've been playing well, but you know that they're have a little bit more in the tank that the Legends would love for them to unlock for this playoff run.
Oh, okay, Hart not giving Gamboa the call that time. It goes to 2-0. And, one thing, Carr, is like in college, when you're playing for your college team during the spring, you're using aluminum bat. So some of these guys having to transfer over to the wood bats, it kind of takes him a minute to get around to the different material when it comes to hitting, especially if we're using it every day.
Yeah, just all the moving parts about baseball and hitting just make it such a complicated game, and some guys get sped up by that. And I don't know if that's the issue, if it's the pitching, if it's being in a slightly new environment, especially for Shaddix being from Texas. I mean, obviously going to Ohlone, but still a different environment up in the peninsula. Kind of weird to see all the adjustments that have to be made to be a high-level hitter as the pitching progresses.
Anderson swinging and foul tipping the 2-1 pitch. It goes now to 2-2.
I just think Will's trying to do a little bit too much at the plate, swinging a little too hard. Need to be a little more short to the ball, compact, and just think about hitting the ball up the middle like James Bose did, and to try to copy that instead of the power that we know he can do, but he hasn't really been showing over the last couple of weeks.
Gamboa taking a look at second. Bo's not looking to run. Anderson fouling it off the plate.
I mean, it's not like Anderson's having bad at-bats. This is a really good at-bat, really good play discipline. 2-2, just need to know that a ball on the ground can move a runner over. Can't hit and do a double play. It's a big spot for Anderson to not just protect and not strike out, but also put a ball in a spot that doesn't leave a runner stranded.
Yeah, he does have a tendency to go deep in at bats. That is one thing we have noticed about him, but that just shows how good of a hitter he is. He just needs to find ways to execute.
And I'm sure, part of him likes these foul balls, kind of living to see more pitching. But I'm sure he'd tell you, if he sees a strike, he wants to pull the trigger. That's the aggressive mindset that all high-level hitters need to have. It can be a little frustrating. You foul the ball off, see a ball like Anderson can do, and it seems to be a really good spot for Gamboa to try to freeze him up with maybe an off-speed. Probably a little bit out of the zone. Interested to see if that's coming and if Anderson can lay off of it if it's a ball.
2-2 for Anderson. He's able to flare that one out, but the diving catch by Latimer and flipping the glove over to second to get Bose. What a play there by Caleb Latimer at second base to double up James Bose and Will Anderson.
I think if he didn't catch that ball, that could have been a triple play. Going second, third, first right there with Anderson not being the fastest runner. Obviously, you don't want to say you're lucky after a two-out, little flare in the infield, runners on first and second, no outs. But that doesn't kill you if you're the legend. See if Rabago can bounce back, put a ball in a gap, and get some more insurance runs.
Yeah, so now only one runner is still on base. Mitchell Bursell at first base for Austin Rabago. Feels like Austin Rabago is everywhere these days. He's getting his name dropped a lot, especially in the past few games that he's been playing in. Just embracing the opportunity to get the burn that he deserves.
Yeah, guys like Beal, Most leaving opens the door for guys like Rabago, Degler, even Carter Bleeker. Let's see if those guys can really step up.
Hit and run opportunity, but Rabago fouls it out of play.
And considering the Legends put hit and runs on right here, I think it's more about just execution and setting the tone for the rest of the season than anything. But it's kind of unorthodox to see such aggressive base running with a lead like this.
Rabago is 2 for 3 on the night. 3 RBIs, 2 doubles hit. It swings and misses, falls to a knee for strike 3. That's going to end the inning. So runners left on for the Legends. Can't add on to the lead as we'll go to the 6th. Still 10-4 lead here in San Mateo. Want to follow all things Legends? Check out www.menloparklegends.com for live scores, game schedules, player stats, news articles, and more. That's menloparklegends.com, your home for everything Legends baseball. And follow us on Instagram. Catch all the college action at Legends_collegiate and get a behind-the-scenes look at our legendary youth camp program at Legends Baseball Camps. So Matthew Anderson remains in the game, but there have been a few defensive changes made for the Legends as Gavin Shattuck's now in the game playing third base and Will Robbins now at catcher for Ryan Cartwright as Fabian Gomez sending a fly ball to right, but it's going to be caught out there by Feliciano for out number 1.
And that's the efficiency you'd love to see from Anderson, really asking to eat up innings right here, save some of these arms for this home stretch, a lot of away games coming up. That's the efficiency you want to see every time, and I kind of comes to something my coaches sometimes tell me, which is how the result of the at-bat decided within 3 pitches. Whether it's a hit, you hit the guy, an out, doesn't matter. Get the pitch, the at-bat done early, and that's got to be the mindset that Anderson needs to eat some innings up right here.
Yeah, and he's been relieving since the since the 4th inning after coming in for Tyler LaChance, who started the game. Tyler LaChance had a pretty light night tonight, only going 3 innings, only allowing the 1 run, and striking out one hitter and walking 1 batter on 4 hits. Jack Bollinger shoots it back into center field for a 1-out single.
Yeah, and for LaChance, that pull kind of just seems like saving the arm from Nick Sanziri. Probably a good call. Got some depth in the pen. Trying to see Anderson pitch a little bit. I like it. I like it from Nick Sanziri.
And the Legends do have an off day tomorrow before going to Alameda on Friday to play the Merchants again at Pat Bell Field.
You need to stack some wins up and stack them up fast.
Yeah, this is the week to do it, especially with them coming into tonight. Just 4.5 games out of first place, but with a ton of parity. And the Merchants currently the second-place team trying to hold water, but it's been quite a challenge for them over these past few games.
Yeah, you said lots of parity in the CCL. Love to see it, and got some really good mixed matchups coming up. I like the structure, got different teams each game. Some leagues do it where it's series, and I kind of like going from different team, having to adjust. It's very realistic, and I really like it from the CCL.
Harrison delivering with the breaking ball, but missed outside. But, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting going down the stretch, Carters. No, we have about 3 more weeks left on the summer, but, a lot of these games do matter. And, going to the All-Star break, after the All-Star break, the Legends will be playing the number 1 team in the state in the Foresters, as there's a hard-hit ball back in the center field by Cy Turner. So back-to-back singles puts traffic on the base paths for the Merchants for Jackson Nystrom.
And this is a really key at-bat that's going to tell us if we're going to be able to use Anderson and get up a couple innings here, if we're going to have to call to the pen and waste some more arms. This is going to be a very telltale at-bat right here. Hopefully, I'm an ideal world, you get a little chopper, ground ball, double play. But even an out here, just letting the guy get on right here would be really detrimental for Anderson.
Anderson trying to put one on the ground here with Jackson Nystrom, who's 0 for 3 on the night, coming back up to the dish. He'll make a move, checking on Bollinger at second.
And not a great move from Anderson right there. Definitely had a chance. It was a little bit of a better move. Got a little bit jumpy over there at second base.
Nystrom has struck out twice tonight and flew out to left field as well. Will deliver home, gets it in for a strike 1.
This is another example of situational hitting for the Merchants, something they have not been doing very well today. A ground ball to the right side, that's going to be the mindset here, especially with that gap. I mean, double play obviously kills you, but we got some speed. You get the bat on the ball is going to be the mindset right here. Don't need a home run.
Bollinger takes off for third. Robbins lets it get away, rolls slightly close to the backstop, but not too far for Bollinger to try to come around to score, but both runners do advance 90 feet on the pass ball.
And they don't go in the books, but free 90s are basically errors. I mean, you think about a shortstop booting the ball, guy gets to first. It's the same concept. Pitch gets booted. Obviously not the catcher's fault, not Will Robin's fault there. But that kind of goes in the books as those unmarked errors that really add up, even on top of the 4 errors already today for the Legends. It's a sloppy defensive performance overshadowing a really good hitting performance with 14 hits so far.
Anderson delivers the 1-1, but Nystrom fouls it off the foot. But luckily he's wearing a shin guard, trying to ease some of that pain.
And now this situational hitting becomes even easier for Nystrom. Knowing infield's back, ground ball plays, scores a run, a stacked fly, even if it's caught, scores a run, and obviously a hit scores 2. So this is one of the most freeing feelings you can feel as a hitter. A little bit overshadowed having 2 strikes on him, but I think the idea just needs to be play pepper with the ball right here because any contact turns into a run for the Merchants.
Yeah, 2 runners are in scoring position still. 1 out. That one gets away from Robbins slightly, but Bollinger not going to try to go for home on that pitch. But count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great block from Will Robbins right there, saving another 390 and another run all in one. It's a great block right there, really underrated defensive play.
Merchants trying to chip away at this deficit, still down by 6. 10-4 game of just over 2 hours played here on the peninsula. 2-2 from Anderson. That one gets away again as Robbins making a nice stop there, but now the count goes full. First base is open for Nystrom to take it, so Anderson could try to go for the strikeout at the plate or try to reset for the double play ball.
That's an elite block right there again from Will Robbins. If I'm Anderson, I'm pounding the zone. Let my defense work for me. If it's a ball, so be it. But I'm really trying to attack right here.
Here comes the payoff. Hit hard at third, grabbed by Shaddix. Didn't have to move his feet at all. Well, Nystrom gets robbed on a line drive out.
The ball was hit hard. I feel bad for Nystrom right there.
And so Emmett Feeney will try to give it a shot as he's 2 for 3 on the evening with 2 singles.
And the single here scores 2 runs and really makes it a game for the Merchants. So this is another key at bat for both sides right here.
Fly ball to left center field, but playable for Dickler. He'll make the catch to end the inning. Oh, the Merchants leave 2 stranded, not able to score. Still down by 6. We'll go to the bottom of the 6. 10-4 Legends lead here in San Mateo. Here in the bottom of the sixth, a 10-4 game as Gavin Shaddix will get his first ups on the night after he came in substitution for Carter Bleeker, who calls in the night himself. But Carter Bleeker had a good night with an RBI single, contributing to that 8-run bottom of the second they have. So we're going to see what the future Stephen F. Austin Lumberjack can do here at the plate.
Yeah, Shattuck's the guy looking to kind of reinvent himself this summer following the departures of Beal, Most, and some other guys from the Legends lineup. Obviously a very utility-oriented guy from Texas, Vandergrift High School, Stephen F. Austin commit. Went to Ohlone, that Texas Ohlone pipeline, kind of unique right there. But Shattuck's looking to prove why he's a D1 commit and get back on track on what's been a pretty rough summer for him so far.
Yeah, AJ Gamboa stays in the game for the Merchants, delivering a first pitch curve for a strike. Misses a little bit outside, 1-1.
And Shaddix, again, needs to just not try to do too much. Just get out of his slump with the base hit up the middle. It's got to be the mindset right here.
And Shaddix waited back on the breaking pitch but fouled it off.
Yeah, that pitch hung a little bit. I'm sure Shaddix would love to have that one back.
The Legends do have an arm warming up in the bullpen. Not sure if Matthew Anderson is going to be coming back out for the 7th. But overall, he has been having a good night in long relief. Shattuck swings and misses for strike 3. Some high pitch there by Gamboa.
Now batting for the Legends, right fielder number 0, Emilio Feliciano.
So here's a guy that's trying to break out a 0-4 at the moment, Emilio Feliciano. He grounded out the first, as well as also, striking out. But he did come through with an RBI single. So take that back. No 0-4 for him.
And this is a game that you really want to see guys like Gavin Shaddix get back on track. That's a disappointing strikeout right there.
And watching Feliciano in batting practice before the game, you can see that his focus was kind of trying to stay in there. Of course, with every time that a team takes BP in pregame, you always want to have kind of a game plan going in, the game plan before the game plan. 0-2 from Gamboa. Oh, Kate Hart showing no love, missing just a little high. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I don't know how that was not called a strike right there. That's a beautiful pitch from Gamboa.
Luciano, slow roller just over the mound, and the throw to first takes Gomez off the bag. So this is going to be another single for Feliciano. He hit the hard 90 and ran it out.
Rough day for Gomez at first base. Missed a picker in that 8-run inning. Kind of could have stopped the bleeding right there. And then missed that right there on a very catchable ball and a very good throw. That's rough from Gomez, and those kind of errors in the field, as big or small, they kind of add up. And you're seeing that in the scoreboard right now for the Merchants.
So now here comes Will Robbins, who will also be getting his first at-bat of the night.
Interesting to see how the Legends have handled the catching spot so far this summer. Will Robbins, Blake Cohens, Cartwright, lots of guys kind of in the rotation. And it's interesting to see that no guys really truly cemented themselves in that spot as the elite Legends catcher.
And Blake Cohens, who had most of the catching duties last night, taking the rest of the night off, probably actually down over in the Legends bullpen warming up the relief pitcher. I guess he's on bullpen catcher duty tonight.
Yeah, being a catcher is a rough life. I got a lot of respect for catchers, having to catch the ball every time and perfectly frame it, lock it, know what pitch is coming, communicate with the field, the knees.
Feliciano taking off for second, stolen base. Latimer not grasping the ball, kind of gets knocked around. Knocked loopy by Feliciano on the slide, but he's going to be safe.
The knees hurt. Practice isn't fun. You got to catch the bullpens while the rest of the hitters get to hit. It's tough to be a catcher. There's a reason they're not really expected to do much other than catch. once you get to the higher levels, even get like the MLB, Patrick Bailey, guy's hitting like 180, but he's the best defensive catcher in the world, so he stays in the lineup. It's kind of the only position you can truly say that about, and it's interesting to see that rotation.
Now we're going to get checked on here for Emilio Feliciano as you get the trainer running out. It looked like Feliciano kind of took one to the face. Like, I guess he probably slid into Caleb Latimer's arm as he went in head first, as hopefully it's not anything too serious.
Yeah, lots of freak accidents so far today. Going down to second base, I think it's the third one. Most notably being that ball that bounced off the helmet of the Merchants base runner last inning and led to a run. So that's a very interesting to see that you don't see every day at the baseball field.
And going back to what you said about catchers, Carter, like how about that walk-off inside the park home run by Patrick Bailey the other night?
I mean, that's almost like you can't script it any better. Top of the wall, only ballpark in the MLB that ball would not have been over the fence at. A catcher moving around the bases like that.
We're talking about a catcher on an inside the park walk-off home run.
And
a catcher.
The thing is, you look at the video and it's not even that impressive just because of the layout of the field. It really doesn't capture how hard it is to hit it in that exact spot, have it make that exact carom into center field. If that ball bounces 2 inches to the right, Philly center fielder gets that ball in and he's on second base. Just really another example of baseball being a game of inches when things like that. But Patrick Bailey, let me say, is not out of the woods because he needs to start doing that every game to make up for his abysmal hitting performance so far this season.
Yeah, for all the Giants fans tuned in, you got your friendly neighbor from the South coming up this weekend as the Dodgers will be making their way to San Francisco, and should be a good series, especially with Giants still trying to chase down the Dodgers for first place in the NL West, but it's looking like the starting slowly fade. So the same kind of mentality that the Legends are having with the CCL North, the Giants have a similar problem.
Yeah, I mean, summer baseball in San Francisco, McCovey Cove, crosstown rivalry, L.A., San Francisco. Doesn't get much better than that. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I might be at one of those games.
Yeah, well, a lot to look forward for, especially even also with the MLB All-Star game in Atlanta next week. That should be exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the home run derby, see O'Neal Cruz.
Oh, yeah. Emilio Feliciano seems to be okay. So he'll stay on the base paths as Gamboa will get a few warm-up pitches in. Will Robbins still at the plate with a count, 2 balls and no strikes. I guess, it was probably just like a little – I think Feliciano probably just got the wind knocked out of him on the slide. But, it looks okay, so he'll stay on the base paths. But Will Robbins in the driver's seat at the moment against A.J. Gamboa. Legends trying to add on another run, trying to make it an 11-4 game. Will Robbins has over 10 RBIs on the summer. He looks at strike 1, so count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike for the man at Princeton.
And that's a good take from Will Robbins right there. 2-0 slider, moves well. You're not going to do much with that pitch.
And Will Robbins coming into tonight, a 225 hitter. Like, he has a home run on the season. It was that grand slam that he actually hit against the Merchants. Or actually, no, excuse me. It was actually against the Blues about a few weeks ago, like really last month. He has 11 RBIs on the season, along with 3 doubles. And he's going to look at ball 4, so Robbins will take the walk. So now it's runners at first and second with still 1 out.
All right, now
that's another interesting call right there. I don't know where that missed.
Number 4, Charlie Degler.
And Riley Winchell coming out to the mound to talk to Gamboa. No action happening now in the Merchants bullpen as Charlie Degler will come back up to the plate. He has singled 3 times tonight.
One of those being an infield hit where he showed how fast he is. I'd love to see him get on the base paths to kind of create some more havoc with Quincy Villa on deck.
Yeah, Degler has been seeing the baseball and definitely kind of having like a Pete Rose style where he's going to hit for a high average, more of as a contact first kind of hitter, not a big power guy.
See if we can get into one right here, though. I'd love to see Charlie Degler just gap ball off that 367 sign. Get that announcer's
You,
jinx
you,
working.
you think he'll get a little bit of a Patrick Bailey moment, try to go for an inside the Parker?
Hey, this is the game to do it. I mean, I know it's not going to mean much. So if I see a gapped ball, I'd love to see him chug around and try to get 4.
He does have the speed to do it.
Yeah, he showed that on that infield hit in his last at bat. If he has enough speed to get a base hit out of the little chopper to the pitcher, he has enough speed to score if the ball is hit 300 feet.
Yeah, Degler came into tonight with 8 stolen bases. He did get 1 stolen base to give him 9 on the season, but again, I feel like any stolen base that a Legends player has is a far cry from how many Quincy Villa has.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't even compare yourself to that. I mean, stealing a base or two once in a while is very important for a team, but a guy like Villa, that's even more than that. That's extreme, and that's just an outlier. His speed is special. Watching Quincy Villa run is very special.
Villa fouling off that pitch, Degler fouling off that pitch there. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quincy Villa is waiting on deck.
I'd love to see Degler be aggressive right here and kind of have the mindset of I'm pulling the trigger no matter what.
Gamboa delivers, and that one misses low and out for ball 3, so the count is full.
These are the reps that translate. Seeing the ball out of the arm, knowing immediately it's going to be a ball. It's a great read from Degler. Lives to see 3-2. It's a great piece of hitting and something that you really want to build on if you're the Legends lineup.
Degler looking for the walk or the knock. See what's this going to be. Hopefully it's that. There's 50-50 chance. It's the payoff. And it's going to be a walk. Degler able to reach, and it's 2 straight base on balls allowed by Gamboa to load the bases for Quincy Villa.
And these are the games of fielder you kind of just start to get disengaged. I mean, the outfield kind of boring place. It can even be more boring when your pitcher can't throw a strike. So I feel for these guys out there for the Merchants. Not really doing their job when it's hit to them, though. 4 errors on the day so far, but you got to feel for just standing out there and kind of feeling helpless watching your team get put 10 runs up on them.
Yeah. And talk with Quincy Villa before the game. We were actually talking basketball a little bit. As a Boston Celtics fan. Grounder over to third. They're going to go home with it. They get the out there. Villa able to run it out at first, but no run is going to come across, so there's 2 gone.
And when you talk about Quincy Villa's speed and kind of his all-star case, I mean, say James Bose hits a single up the middle and scores 2 right here. That's made possible by Quincy Villa able to leg that ball out. So those small things that really affect the game with his speed is just another reason why I think Quincy Villa really deserves to be in the CCL All-Star game next week.
And Villa reaching on the fielder's choice. It's the second is the third time that he has reached base tonight, and 5 plate appearances.
It's a shame we can't see another stolen base attempt from Villa.
Both grounding it to Latimer, and off-balance throw gets him at first to end the inning. So no runs across for the Legends. They leave 3 men on. So it stays a 10-4 game as we'll go to the top of the 7th. Today's game is brought to you by Clubhouse Training Center, powered by Legends Baseball, now open in Redwood City. Book private lessons, lane rentals, classes, or memberships today. It's the ultimate spot to train like a legend. And a big thanks to our sponsor, Kip Sports Cards, the Bay Area's top spot for baseball cards, autographs, and collectibles. Visit Kip's in downtown Los Altos and tell them the legend sent you. So here we are in the top of the 7th, still a 10-4 game. The Legends in front, as Sam Young will now be taking the mound after Matthew Anderson had a solid outing in relief.
And seeing Sam Young pitch, I believe 1 or 2 weeks ago, it's truly beautiful. I mean, a Richmond guy, D1, Virginia, coming all the way up to California, up to 96, 97 with his fastball. It's a lively pitch, and it's going to be fun to watch him work right here.
Yeah, Sam Young could definitely bring it with the heat. Oh, and he snaps Winchell's bat as the barrel flies right at Young's knees, but he gets just out of the way of it. It's gonna be a foul ball.
And right as we talk about that velo, it shows that high spin rate fastball in on the hands at very high velocity. That's a really hard hit ball to put a bat on, and really broke the bat right there. That's a tone setter for Sam Young in his first batter face.
So it's a 10-second funeral for Riley Winchell's bat as he'll grab a new piece of lumber with the count. No balls and 2 strikes on him. Sam Young trying to go for the punch out. Here comes the 0-2. And he gets jammed again, but he fouls it out of play.
I think Sam Young's going to go back to the fastball. He's loading really late right here, late on it for a reason. Throw it for a strike. Just blow that ball by him right here.
Well, Young went with a little bit of junk for the 4th pitch of the at-bat, but it misses low and in for ball 1.
That's just a changing eye level setup pitch right there, I believe, for the fastball. See if he can tunnel the two together well for an out.
1-2 hit hard on the ground, backhanded by Shaddix, and he will make the throw across the diamond, takes a bounce, but Bursall able to pick it for out number 1.
Very lucky play from Gavin Shaddix right there. Just put his hand out and prayed in and found the glove. Still a great play, though.
Right fielder number 6, Hayden Young Goldberg.
So here comes Hayden Young Goldberg. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat. That was back in the 5th inning. He is 2 for 3 on the night. Get a pause and play here is get a ball that runs loose from the Merchants bullpen.
Yeah, Sam Young really showing that fastball's life right there. Surprising to see how on time these Merchants hitters are so far to start.
First pitch swung on and missed by Young Goldberg.
That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Here, go hit it. And most of these guys in the CCL cannot do that. So, great pitch from Sam Young. That's going to play at almost any level.
Oh, and that one just misses. Questionable call there by Kate Hart.
That's the first middle ball I've seen in a while. That's a terrible call right there.
Yeah, one thing for Sam Young, he's going to be a solid arm in the A-10 conference when he goes back to Richmond in the fall, prepping up for fall ball and getting ready for next season. Of course, with the A-10, it seems to be usually a pretty balanced conference for college baseball. I know in college basketball, like you can see a lot of parity in the conference there. You got teams like Dayton, VCU, like the new St. Joseph's had a pretty good run. Got a guy in the NBA draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of showing love to the smaller D1 schools that really at all sports, because the transfer portal are getting better at every level. Kind of getting those guys that would have gone, sat on the bench for a little bit, and then played. They can replace our transfer portal guys with higher levels by going down to these leagues and making them elite in all sports, basketball, baseball, you name it.
Young missing outside with the 1-2. Count goes even for Young Goldberg.
It's still just a glaring stat looking over that scoreboard over there and seeing those 8 combined errors between the two teams. That should not happen, and it's really something the Legends are going to need to clean up if they want to make a run the rest of the month.
I want to hit right back up the middle, rolls directly into center field. So Hayden Young-Goldberg able to survive a lengthy at-bat with a one-out single.
And you'll live with that if you're Sam Young. That's a ground ball. He's forced 2 ground balls so far. A third ground ball is probably the end of the inning of the double play right here. He's got to trust his defense, get that fastball command, keep it down, keep it low, force another ground ball, get out of the inning quickly.
And with that hit, Carter, the Merchants have 10 hits on the night, but it's a combined 25 hits for the game with both the Merchants and the Legends. So that just goes to show how much of a high offensive game this has been all around.
I mean, I'm sure if you told the Merchants coaching staff that through 6 1/3 they'd have 10 hits and they didn't know anything else about the game, they'd take it every day of the week. Just kind of how the cookie crumbled that the one game they're able to do that, they could put 10 runs up on them.
Robbins with a high throw down the second as Hayden Young-Goldberg able to get the stolen base as the throw goes off of Rabago's glove.
And that's where discipline comes into play. Legends need to be a little bit better, a little bit cleaner in the field and wrap things up the way this game should go. I know it's a lot of smiles in the dugout, but I'm sure Coach Sinceri would love to see a little bit better execution right now.
As they're still playing pretty loose here late in the game. Young will deliver home. Fastball misses high and in for ball 2.
And a guy like this, most of the time he comes into trouble with his command. And because he's having command issues, throwing a lot more pitches than he wants to, and the hitters are able to time him up better because they see more pitches. That's kind of the trap that you can fall in as a high velo arm. And if you can be efficient, that's really what Sam Young needs to work on right here.
And Latimer fouling off that pitch. And usually, like when I look at Sam Young's delivery, it kind of gives some resemblance to a guy like, say, Shane Bieber. You know, just the way that he kind of goes over the top a little bit, but kind of keeps the body low, like he's in a doorway almost, with his delivery and the windup.
Yeah, very whippy movements from Sam Young, and I really like the way he does the high leg kick, comes into it. It takes a little bit of a long time to get to the base, get the throw off, but really a great pitcher and a great command I've seen so far.
2-2 misses outside.
Correction, subpar command I've seen so far, but the stuff has been elite. Even when he's thrown the slider in, it moves like a frisbee.
A lot of movement. I guess that's one thing you tend to see with a hard thrower. Counts full on Latimer. See who wants to duel between him and Young. Payoff pitch. Murray takes off. Young-Goldberg down to third, but the tag is not going to be in time. But it's going to be a walk for Latimer, so the runners are now at the corners.
Yeah, and speaking of that, that command versus velocity equation, I found that if a guy has just command and not much velocity and not much movement, they're kind of the JUCO arms. The guys like Sam Young, maybe not as good control, but great movement, great velocity. Those are the lower D1, D2, D3 arms. And then the power 4 guys that really take it to the next level kind of combine the 3 for control, movement, and velocity. And it's that puzzle piece that Nick Sinceri is trying to unlock with all these pitchers across the board to get them to that D1 level and just hone every aspect of their game, because once you get to the college level, you cannot be one-dimensional as a hitter or a pitcher.
Benjio Vanetti, who's trying to break the 0-4 on the night, popped out to short in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth, and grounded out to third in the fifth. His runners at the corners with 1 out. Sam Young see if he could put one on the ground for a double play. Giovanetti goes around on the high cheese that time out the hands of Young for strike 2.
And then to see Latimer do his little dancey dance at first base almost every time Sam Young goes into the windup. Kind of looking to steal a base right here. I think Sam Young needs to change up his tempo a little bit, get a little bit predictable, and should result in a swipe back.
Latimer takes off for second. That one's popped up in the infield. Latimer's going to have to hurry back. Both waiting for it to come down. And able to make the catch for it, and that's going to give the Legends the second out. But good thing that Latimer didn't make the same mistake that he did the last time, like on a play like that. It was back in the second inning. And funny enough, Benjio Vanetti was at the plate when a pop-out went to Bose, but Latimer was so far off the bag that he got thrown out at first. So he learned his lesson.
Yeah, and as I predicted, he's trying to sweep the bag there. I'm interested to see if Sam Young is going to catch that and maybe fix that little leg lift, that pause in his delivery that's making all these Merchants runners want to run.
So pinch hitter now coming in for the Merchants, Angelo Luna will hit for Fabian Gomez. Latimer takes off again, and he will get in with stolen base.
Another steal from the Merchants. I'm interested that this is desperation because of the score. This is a scouting report on Robbins, a scouting report on Sam Young and his delivery, or just trying to go out there and play and let the dice fall as they may. But whatever it is, a really interesting strategy from the Merchants that is working so far. And they got a comeback set up if they want it with a big hit right here. It would really propel them.
The 1-0 on Luna sends a fly ball to right, but it's going to be a can of corn for Feliciano as the Merchants leave two stranded, still not able to put a dent in this deficit still. As it's stretch time here in San Mateo. We're going to the bottom of the seventh. Legends still lead 10-4 as you are tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Want to follow all things Legends? Check out www.menloparklegends.com for live scores, game schedules, player stats, news articles, and more. That's menloparklegends.com, your home for everything Legends baseball. And also, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Catch all the college action at Legends_Collegiate and get a behind-the-scenes look at our legendary youth camp program at Legends Baseball Camps, all one word. So here we are on the bottom of the seventh, still a 10-4 lead for the Legends as the Merchants will bring out a new arm from the bullpen as it's Will Bonini, who's actually a player here at College of San Mateo for the schools team. But he's having a solid season so far, Carter.
Yeah, another DubCal graduate, a little older guy, junior, from CSM, went to St. Francis High School, and kind of joined Thomas Egbert from Legends, obviously, Will Robbins, former St. Ignatius Wildcat, as WCal, West Catholic Athletic League in the Bay Area, probably the best league in the Bay Area, one of the top 10 leagues in the country, commits all over the place, and interesting to see how those stars end up falling. You have guys committed to Stanford out of DubCal, St. Mary's, other powerhouses, and guys that fall through the cracks go to JUCO and spend a couple years there like Bonini. But he's been having a great summer so far, Philip.
Yeah, absolutely. As he's got Mitchell Birdsall ahead in the count, one ball and two strikes. But in 6 games on the summer, he's carrying a 0.96 ERA and 9 1/3 innings of work out the bullpen.
And what stands out to me there is that 4 walks in 9 innings. Obviously doesn't seem super elite from a pitcher, but when you consider the situations relievers are asked to be put in, we look at this like 2.1 inning outings coming in with, the out of the stretch, your first pitches, new mound, guys on base, like 1 out, runners on base, pressure situations, and being able to throw strikes is really a trait of a great pitcher. Hasn't pitched in too many wins for the Merchants, but looks to keep it close and have a comeback.
Well, Birdsall sending it down the line, and it's a foul ball. Lucas Townsend had a better angle than we did, but it kind of looked fair from our viewpoint.
Oh, yeah, those are the hardest as a hitter because I always, in the back of my mind, I know if I have a foul ball like that, I put a really good swing on it. I'm probably not going to put a good swing like that again in that at bat, just the way the cookie crumbles with baseball. I had one of those moments today, Philip. I hit down the right field line with the bases loaded. Thought it was going to be a fair for a triple. Ended up a foul ball, and I ended up grounding out. So definitely momentum shifter as a batter.
Benini with the 1-2.
Oh,
And that one gets fouled off a home plate umpire, Kate Hart. It sounded like it must have hit her maybe like in the stomach area probably. She seems to be okay. She's shaking it off.
yeah, umpires wear that padding for a reason. You can't see it because they put the shirt over it, but there's a lot of extra weight, extra padding down there. For that reason, exactly.
And Birdsell making conversation with Kate Hart. She's going to hang in there.
This is certainly not a quick game, Philip.
Yeah, we feel like we've been here for quite a long time, but the fans since tonight definitely getting their money's worth. We're about close to hit the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, the sun's going to set soon. It's a beautiful place to play, though, at the Hilltop up at CSM. With how competitive California JUCOs are, I mean, that's an option to play up here in Paradise and really produce. And guys like Emilio Feliciano from CSM, becoming stars, guys like Bonini. So again, like, we really want to touch on, like, you guys might see a lot of JUCO guys on these CSL rosters if you do any research for anybody in the audience listening. And you might say, oh, he goes to blank JUCO, like, he's not very good. But this isn't like basketball. This isn't like baseball. Like, these JUCO guys are high-level arms, as Bonini and some of these other guys like Will Anderson of JUCO Bandit himself has been showing this summer.
Yeah, Anderson coming to the plate after Birdsall went down looking on strike 3 for the second time tonight. But, man, like, I figured like with Mitchell Birdsall, kind of making combo with Kate Hart, probably would have showed a little bit of love on that last pitch. But I guess not. Anderson swings at the 0-1, fouls it off to the left side, 0-2 now.
It might sound like a broken record. I feel like I'm going to say this for every Gavin Shaddix at-bat and Will Anderson at-bat for the rest of the season. But these are really proven Aloni guys that really just haven't been up to their own personal standard this summer. And it's going to be really interesting to see if they can flip that switch. And as I said, this is a perfect launch pad for them to jump, their way through the season as it ends.
Anderson with a slow ground ball to Latimer. He's going to play it well, toss it over to Luna, who's now in the game at first base for out number 2.
Now batting for the Legends.
That's rough for Anderson. Again, really a momentum shifter. Lost opportunity right there to get some momentum. But you can't beat yourself up too much if you're Will Anderson. Just getting reps. But I know if we asked him, he'd just be the first to say that he wishes he was putting balls in gaps right now like he'd been doing all spring.
Here comes Austin Urbago coming up for the 5th time tonight. And, as you can see if you're watching at home, the sunlight slowly dissipating here at CSM Baseball Field. We're running out of sunlight, and think about CSM Baseball Field, there's no light, so game could possibly be called an inning early if we don't get it wrapped up before it starts to get more dark.
And I'm sure the Merchants will complain about that if that happens, but I think anybody watching knows that the Legends have really taken control of this game. And even though they've let their foot off the gas pedal, an 8-run second inning will result in a victory 97% of the time in baseball. So that's really what we got to hang your head on for the Legends, but I'm still want to see some more growth from these bats.
Urbago with a bouncer, high chopper, the Baltimore chop. Throw over to first is picked nicely by Luna. That's going to end the inning. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning by Will Bonini out of the bullpen. Nobody able to reach. So we'll go to the top of the 8th. 10-4. Legends still hold the lead. So here we are in the top of the 8th as in an effort to save the bullpen arms for the Legends in a 10-4 lead, Will Anderson will be getting the ball to try to put together a clean inning and relieving for Sam Young as Aiden Tacius, Tackless, will come in the pinch hit in the spot for Jack Bollinger.
And a little personal anecdote about Will Anderson pitching right here. I do Legends camp counseling for the camps, and I've worked with Will Anderson, and we have discussed pitching in depth, and his words were, I shove. He said he doesn't pitch often, but when he does, he shoves, and we'll see if let's factor cap right here.
He's already had an account 0-2 on Tackless. Tackless out of San Francisco, coming by way of New Mexico State.
I mean, I'd love to see Will Anderson pitch, knowing that it takes like 6-7 runs to make a difference in this game for the Merchants.
And Will Anderson did make an appearance on. He's actually made a few appearances pitching so far this season.
He's an athlete. May not be hitting the way he wants to, but he's committed to Santa Clara. Was a JUCO All-American for a reason. See if he can be the next Shohei. Oh, actually, no. I see a little bit of Jack Caglione in him, Philip.
Oh, actually, no. That's a much better comparison. Because, yeah, Jack Caglione could have been a two-way star. As Anderson gets Tackless to go down looking on strike 3, he'll hand him the backwards K for the first out.
We might need to see some more Will Anderson shove days. This is beautiful to watch. Just 75, 76 miles an hour playing at the college level. Don't see that much.
Yeah, as in just 3 games pitching on the summer, Will Anderson, he did have like this, an heroic outing. It was in the game against the Crawdads, where he kept the game close enough for when the Legends walked off against him back on June 18th.
That was the T.J. Schmalzy walk-off, if I remember correctly.
Cy Turner hitting on the ground to Bose. He'll play it well. Good throw over the first base for out number 2.
Will Anderson staying true to his word. The Anderson brothers having a day right now for the Legends on the bump.
Yeah, seeing some brother action. Of course, Matthew Anderson having a good outing, going in long relief after relieving for Tyler LeChance, and now he gets to see Big Bro out there on the mound getting an inning in.
And if it's nothing, it's kind of a psychological thing for Anderson, who maybe doesn't want to hang his head on his hitting performance today, but can look back and say, I got the pitch, I shoved, that was awesome. Something he doesn't get to do often, and a confidence builder, because I know for me, when I'm able to pitch and hit in the same game, I'm happy if I do one well. And that's kind of the mindset that Anderson needs to adopt right here, because he's pitching amazing.
Oh, man, he delivered a pearl, but it wasn't shiny enough for Kate Hart.
Should have been. That was a strike.
Count even 1-1 on Jackson Nystrom, who's still trying to break that 0 for. He's 0 for 4 on the night. Missing outside. Count goes to 2-1.
And I think the mindset for Moser, again, needs to be to draw a walk. His run really doesn't matter. They need a lot more runs.
Nystrom able to get a piece of that, but fouls it off just to the right of us on the netting. It could be it. I think Will Anderson could finish out this game.
Yeah, this light's not looking great, and I'm sure the Legends will be fine to forego their next round of at-bats. I think each guy in the lineup has gotten like 6 at-bats today already. They'll live with that, live another day if that's what the umpires decide to do, and then this game early.
So the count's full for Nystrom. Anderson trying to go for the K to put together a 1-2-3 inning.
And as it looks like the Legends have clinched this victory. Ooh.
Hard ground ball over the first, backhanded by Bursell, and Anderson running over, showing the athleticism, stepping on the bag for the 3-1 put out. He can do it all, folks. He really can. As we're going to go to the bottom half of the 8th. 10-4, Legends lead.
And leading off the bottom of the eighth for the Legends, third baseman, number 1, Gavin Shaddix.
10-4, the Legends still holding the lead as we're getting close to the end here. Gavin Shaddix leading off the inning. Defensive change for the Merchants as Aiden Tackless stays in the game out in the center field.
And just a quick note as the Legends look to have wrapped up this game with likely their final at-bats up right here. Stay tuned on the Legends Twitter later for our interviews with the players of the game from an offensive explosion today for the Legends.
Yeah, most definitely. You could also follow the Legends on Twitter at MP Legends, MPL capitalized Legends.
Not only sound like a broken record, but Gavin Shaddix needs to break out of the slump with a hit right here.
Oh, Shaddix, I think he heard you, Carter, sends a deep fly ball to left, but it's just going to fall short of the wall as Feeney makes the catch for the first out.
And that's still a confidence builder for Shaddix compared to some of his at-bats over the last couple of games. Really stayed in his stride, stayed even, read a pitch very well, driven it. Obviously a very weird dimension out in that left center gap. Nothing you can really hang your head on if you're Shaddix. That's a great swing.
Yeah, so with Blake Cohen's coming up to the plate, who came in as a defensive substitution in right field for Emilio Feliciano. And, you look at that outfield wall, and, even though this field is built pretty small with it being 319 to the quarters, 370 to the left center, 367 to right center, and 385 to dead center, it still plays pretty big to some of these hitters.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes because of the dimensions, these guys can kind of do too much. I don't want to single anybody in the Legends lineup out a little bit, but I kind of see Will Anderson trying to just come out of his shoes a little bit too much when he's batting and try to hit it to that 367. He's really just trying to hit balls at the middle because that's been the approach that's worked so far when the Legends have scored their runs.
Collins with a grounder to short, rolled up and sealed on the first for the second out.
I mean, if you think about the way the Legends have scored runs, like even today,
Now
10 runs, there haven't been any home runs. Like, there haven't been any. And there's been barrels, obviously, but it's mostly been station to station, taking some bases that shouldn't really be taken on the base paths, and then being aggressive. That's kind of been the formula for success. It's not been hitting the ball all over the yard. I'd love to see guys like Charlie Degler, kind of the tone setters of that Legends mentality of station to station baseball at the plate.
Will Bonini missing outside. The Will Robbins is batting for the second time. Just only his second plate appearance. He walked. Was able to only reach the third back in the sixth.
And Will Robbins has had a great day behind the dish so far. Some exceptional blocks. Obviously, a little bit short on some throwdowns, hitting the guy in the helmet. Obviously, you'll love that. But Will Robbins has really been showing promise at the plate recently.
Yeah, Will Robbins set to go back to Princeton in the fall. And even though he didn't really get too many at-bats in his first year playing in the Ivy League, this summer has been an opportunity for him to get the reps necessary to see more pitches and, like you mentioned, develop on defense at catcher, which, he's been displaying that for majority of the season. But give him maybe by the time he becomes a junior, he's definitely going to be a force in that starting lineup if he chooses to stay as a Tiger at Princeton, pending if he enters the transfer portal.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Ivy League baseball, last summer, Legends collegiate pitcher A.J. Valle, the Columbia pitcher, stayed at my house, and he telling me about the Ivy League baseball. It's a really good competitive league, and they send a lot of transfers to the SEC.
Yeah, well, Robbins grounding out the third that time, but we have finally reached to the ninth inning, folks, as the Legends are in the opportunity to shut the door, going for their second straight win, and try to make up some ground in the CCL North as we'll come back for the ninth. Still a 10-4 game. You're tuned into Menlo Park Legends Baseball on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Oh, here we are in the ninth inning. We've made it, folks. Legends trying to seal a deal here with a 10-4 lead. It's been a good night of baseball played by them as the Merchants will bring up a pinch hitter here as they'll be batting in the spot for Emmett Feeney as it'll be Dominic Nahar Dominic Nahar, who had the night off, didn't see the field at all, but he will have a chance to get an AB before the Legends can close it out, as Will Anderson will get the assignment to do so. There was a first pitch strike. But during the short break, we actually were brainstorming a question that it could be actually on the air, as I was thinking about the Savannah Bananas because I saw the other day that the All-American Rejects performed at their in-game concert for the Savannah Bananas in their matchup against the Firefighters at Fenway Park the other night. But Carter, just to pose a question to you, who do you think on the Legends has a good chance of one day becoming a Savannah Banana?
That is a very good question, and I am thankful that I have been alongside a lot of these guys as a camp counselor this summer, kind of see their true personalities beyond baseball. And I got to give it to my guy, Zach, a.k.a. Coach Gerbs. I think he'd be perfect for the Savannah Bananas. He's got some flair. He's from Washington. I think he'd be a great candidate with a lot of energy on the pitcher's mound for the Bananas.
The ground ball hit the Shaddix, and he's going to get Nahar at first for the first out here in the top of the ninth.
I don't know. There's some other candidates, though, Philip. I'll pose the same question right back to you as someone who's maybe a little bit more involved even than me in the Legends this summer. Who would you say?
I feel like if I was a talent recruiter for the Savannah Bananas, I'm looking for someone that's energetic, that can, dance a little bit, that could probably sing. I don't know if any of these guys can do that, but I think if I were to give it to somebody, it would have probably been one of our former players. I think Tucker Beal would make a good Savannah Banana, in my word. And Tucker, we don't know where you are, buddy, but if you're listening, hey man, try to send a demo reel to the Savannah Bananas and see if they'll give you a call.
Villa too.
Or
that
Quincy.
Speed entertains, and Savannah Bananas is all about entertainment. Obviously a great player beyond his speed. But I think Quincy Villa and his athleticism would be really fun to kind of display for a Savannah Bananas type audience.
Two gone now. Hayden Young Goldberg becomes the last chance for the Merchants as Anderson gets him swinging and missing at the first pitch.
And it seems like the Merchants have kind of given up on this game. I mean, they're facing 77 from a position player. 77 is slow even by my high school baseball standards. So this is really surprising to see just a lineup get absolutely shut down by a position player. This is peculiar, Philip.
Yeah, as Young Goldberg pops that one foul out of play as they're now down to their last strike. Will Anderson trying to shut the door here. We're trying to retire 6 straight to close the game. 0-2, missed just a little high and out.
And we got the videographers. We got everybody, including the Bat Boys, up in the dugout, ready to celebrate a Will Anderson save.
2-inning save at that. Here comes the 1-2. Young Goldberg still trying to stay alive, saying, hey, we're not going home yet. It was always a rule of mine that you never want to be the last out of the game.
It's just a rough feeling. I mean, you go 3 for 4, 5 RBIs, and that last out, you kind of feel like you could have extended the game, competed a little more. It's definitely a rough feeling, but every baseball has. Ooh.
Oh, the 1-2 kind of gets away from Anderson as it hits Young Goldberg. So he will take the base on the hit by pitch.
And Anderson's cheesing. That's all you can do is laugh at that. I mean, Will Anderson, great pitching so far. Maybe stick to that fastball and don't try to mix that slider in because that did not slide, but it's all right. I believe in Will right here to get a ground ball in on this game.
Yeah, you can see Anderson is just cheesing on the pitcher's mound. But he still needs to get this last out so he can go home before it gets too dark.
All about it's having fun, Philip.
Yeah. Oh, we also trying to beat the darkness too.
Yes.
So Anderson having to do that. Caleb Latimer now steps in, the last hope. Going to send a fly ball down the right field line, but goes foul just beyond the Legends bullpen.
Yet again, 2 pitches away. This would be really satisfying if this game could end in a strikeout. And again, make sure you guys tune in to the Legends Twitter later today for interviews with the players of the game. 15 hits, 10 runs, lots of guys to choose from. Stay tuned to find out who got the bid for player of the game.
1-1 misses inside. And also, along with that, well, we'll be gone for a few days, as next time we'll be back on the air will be Monday before the All-Star break, when the Legends come back to CSM baseball field to play the Walnut Creek Crawdads.
And Philip, speaking of that players of the game, I'm looking at two guys, Austin Urbago and Charlie Degler, as my main guys today. Really just peppering the ball all over the place in a big, big part of that 8-run second inning. Yeah,
definitely two solid candidates, as Austin Urbago was our player of the game yesterday. Could possibly get it tonight as well. Runner takes off. Young Goldberg gets in safely on the stolen base, but the pitch, this is outside, but they still checked for a check swing from Latimer, but they say no. But the count does go full for him, so Anderson trying to get this last strike to seal the deal and close the door.
Philip, from this four-legged pitching staff from the Legends, who stood out to you the most so far?
I say Matthew Anderson, but I think is also Will Anderson, as he strikes out Latimer to end the ball game. And what a win for the Legends, as they put up another double-digit scoring outing against the Merchants for the second time this season. As with this win, the Legends now go to 13-15 and creep closer to the top 3 spot in the CCL North Division, as they even up with the Merchants on the season series, now 3-3 against them. But it was a good night of baseball, Carter. We saw a high offensive game, both teams combining for 25 hits, but the Legends were able to provide the run support necessary for the pitching staff.
Yeah, Philip, this is a great game for the Legends bats, really a wake-up call. And I love the deep pitching staff rotation, getting Will Anderson in there, getting Will Anderson's brother Matthew in there. A great outing from the Chance to start the game. And Sam Young coming in there, throwing straight rocket fuel. Love that for the Legends. Love that momentum shifter. And love kind of going into the homestand, or going away from the homestand, going on the road for the next couple of weeks, setting the tone that the Legends can truly compete in the CCL.
Yeah, and they have only a handful of games left on the week before the All-Star break, as they'll have a day off tomorrow, a well-deserved day off, but they will go to Alameda to take on the Merchants again on their home turf. But, Carter, this game was really fueled by that 8-run second inning that the Legends had, where they were just knocking the ball left and right all over the baseball diamond tonight. And you can see that there's this paradigm shift in how the offense has been contributing in these last few games, when we noticed that in previous games the offensive output has been very limited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it was the pitching. I mean, there was power 4 arm on the mound, Curran, where most of those runs were off of. That's a good lefty arm with movement. So the Legends really have nothing to, bats-wise, they have nothing to hang their heads on. Fielding-wise, they want to be better. Pitching-wise, they want to maybe limit the hits, limit the walks in some spots. But overall, a great overall game from the Legends. And, again, stay tuned to Legends Twitter tonight for the interview with me with the players of the game from today for the Legends.
Yeah, well, Carter's going to head down to the dugout to talk with the players in just a moment. But we're going to wrap things up here on the night, as the Legends able to get the win over the Merchants, as the final line score goes like this: 4 runs, 10 hits, 4 errors for Alameda. 10 runs, 15 hits, 4 errors for Menlo Park. As the Legends continuing to climb up the CCL North with a big win tonight, they will have a day off and will go to Alameda to play the Merchants again. And will come back here at home on Monday before the All-Star break to play the Crawdads. So, these next 4 games still very important for the squad to still try to stay in that playoff picture. But that's going to do it for us here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. We want to thank you again for tuning in with us. It's been Philip Hall alongside my partner, Carter Ball. I want to thank you again